Yes, again, I'm on the app because computer stuff. So that's the fun part. Anyway, oh man. Oh, this is gonna be fun. But anyway, my name is Daramouthe or Dara for short. Yes, of course, I look wonderful, but that's because it's the illustrious beard and the ladies love a good beard. But I don't know anything about that. But anyway, welcome to another Darachat. I'm with my guest, the rock hard rocker, as they would say. Oh, well, probably not. But Jason, Jacen is it? Am I saying it right, Jacen?
Jason Fox, yeah.
Jason Fox. I mean, that's kind of like it's just one of those things. Like it's spelt differently, but it sounds the same as what you would think of. Um, how in Americans we spell it with an S and then an O. Jason and then Fox is like all that stuff. But no, but yeah, but thank you
Yep.
for coming on. When I reached out, I didn't know if it'd be possible, but man, you took up the opportunity. I'm like, yes, thank the Lord.
Mm. Yeah, no, man, of course.
Oh my goodness. But anyway, how are you doing today?
I'm doing pretty well. Just been relaxing. Been working on stuff. A lot of editing.
Oh,
It's mostly
you
what I do.
yeah, yeah. Because I saw your bio and I was like, wait a second, he's a director, movie. He's a metalhead. What?
Yeah, yeah. No, I used to be in metal bands before and stuff like that with screaming and clean vocals and stuff like
Yeah.
that.
I'm guessing every night you'd go like, just
Not really, not really.
oh wow.
Other than the times where I was super drunk on stage or a
Okay.
little bit drugged up on stage back in the day.
Yeah.
That kinda destroys your voice and the
Mm.
ability to do the correct things on stage.
Yeah. Well, it's that I mean, I know that like alcohol kind of takes away from the um what is it? Sort of the moisture, whatever, the spit that you need to kind of keep your because I know some people they do certain drinks or do like maybe honey or whatever, that sort of stuff when being very vocal, right? Whether it's music or
Yeah.
or voice acting, all that stuff.
Yeah, no, for
Um
me, I forgot how to scream on stage. So
oh
I
no.
started I started using my throat instead of my stomach and everything else.
Oh no.
Yeah. So that happens when you're a little too drunk and, yeah, a little high, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, and how long you been doing that sort of I mean, how I know you said you didn't weren't doing it, you haven't been doing it for a while, but how long were you doing it for?
The metal stuff and bands?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh god, I started, like, in high school or something, with the first
Nice.
band I had. We
Mm.
called ourselves the most emo name, Broken Rose, like, the super most emo stuff we could find. I was the funny thing is that all my bandmates, they look like typical geeks and stuff like that, like
Mhm.
typical geeks, and I hope everybody can hear me fine out there, so if
Yeah,
everybody who can, I hope I use the right microphone, so,
yeah, you're
um,
right.
but, yeah, so I was the only super emo, in in
Mm,
my friend group, and the rest
mm,
were like they had, like, glasses, super geeky, you saw they were playing games and stuff.
mm,
It was kinda funny how we did it, but that's how I started, and I did it for a couple of years. I've had different bands,
uh,
but normally we always split up because of different reasons.
yeah.
That's just how it is sometimes with bands, you split up for the most stupidest things.
Oh, yeah.
Um I remember with Broken Rose, it was so stupid the way we broke up
Mm,
because they told me like me, Jason, right? I'm the one who founded the band,
mm,
so they're like, you're deciding what music that we're gonna try to do and stuff. I'm like, I want to try everything. Like,
mm,
let's try different stuff, see what fits us the most. Let's be experimental. And then the other guys started arguing, about no, I want to do this, and I want to do this, and they started arguing. So I got so tired in the end.
yeah,
I was just like, you know what? You need to find a new vocalist. I am not dealing with this shit anymore.
yeah. Well, I mean, you do it for so long, and you just like, I think I need to take a break. I think I need
Yeah.
to take a break because
So so after that, I took a little break, but I found new people. My old drummer joined me again for some couple other bands, and then we did some songs and stuff like that. Unfortunately, the first time we recorded a song, we never got finished because the song was almost finished,
oh,
but we split up.
uh,
So it's like, yeah, of course, when we're finally almost done with song we can release, nah, we're just gonna split up after that hard work.
Oh goodness, that sucks though. I mean, you put all that time and effort to it, and it's like, yeah, I gotta go. It's like,
Yeah, that is the saddest part, when you have bands and it's just like, "Yep, mhm, sure."
yeah. I'll
So
never. Oh, go ahead.
no, 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 so I have done it for many, many years until my
Mm,
20s.
mm.
Well, I'm just 29 right now. I
Oh,
will be 30, next year.
nice,
No,
nice.
not next year, this year.
Okay.
I forget that we are in the new year all the time.
Yeah.
Always forget it.
Mm,
But, yeah, so I've done music up till, yeah, actually in 2023 is when I started some music again.
uh,
I joined a friend of mine, a high school friend that I met again. We became friends for a while again after so many
mm,
years. But of
right.
course, we did split up
Yeah.
in the most stupidest way, because we have different opinions on
Right.
politics.
Right.
And I'm just like, why is that gonna be a problem? You know that I'm a Trump guy. You have known that for so many years that I am.
Right. Mm,
Why suddenly is that a problem right now? And
mm.
I always said, it's because you have a girlfriend. That's because you got a new girlfriend. That's why. Because she doesn't like me. That's the only
Oh.
reason. Because before
Oh.
he didn't care.
All right. Yeah. No,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I can see that obviously, but I mean, so are you? I don't want to pry too much, but do you live in the U.S. or do you live outside the U.S.?
I live outside the US. I live
Okay.
outside the US. I live
Uh,
in Norway, so
no, yeah, I mean, that's what when I read your bio, it said something like Norse stuff, and I mean, of
yeah.
course, your accent helps within that too. So I mean,
Yeah,
it's
yeah, I have a
it's
little accent.
yeah, yeah. But I think, yeah, thank goodness I can understand you. Otherwise, this would not be a great conversation. I'd be like, I don't speak Norse. I don't know what to.
Yeah, nobody can really speak Norse. Like the language that people think
Mhm.
Norse is right now is a recreated version of the Norse language.
Really?
Because of the TV show Viking made it really popular, and
Oh,
they
yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
So we don't know 100% how they sounded like and how they pronounced everything
Mm,
100%. It
mhm,
is the same thing that in many hundreds, thousand years with us, that, our languages are gonna be forgotten too.
mhm.
That is just, part of life.
Yeah.
Um, but, it's like I don't know how to speak it either, I don't
Wow.
speak the recreated version, but I
Mm,
try my best to learn all the runes.
right.
It's like it was last year that I became a Norse Pagan, but,
Mm,
so I don't know all the myth and all the stories, but I know some of the basic stuff, of course.
mhm,
But no, the Norse stuff was always part of, when I did grow up. It was
mhm,
also always part of me.
mhm.
And well, my father was really interested in Norse paganism, and
Oh,
because he's
wow.
a metalhead too. Yeah, my dad is also a metalhead.
Right.
Yeah, it just lives. It's just in the family, I guess.
There you go. Jeez.
Yeah,
Uh, yeah, no, I mean, I know that. Well, of course, he had Viking too, but you also had the new God of War game that came out a while ago that was using
yeah.
Norse
Yeah, I got a little
mythology.
pissed when I saw that, they race swapped the girl to Loki and other stuff, and I just did not like how they treated the gods in it. I just didn't like it.
Oh, are you talking like I think it's Angra Boda, right? You're talking about?
Yeah,
Yeah, no, that I can understand. I saw that conversation. I've seen that conversation.
yeah.
Um, uh,
I felt the same like I did with Vikings Valhalla, the
oh,
sequel series of
yeah.
Vikings, and when you watch it, suddenly you have a person of color, female with the name Jarl Håkon. And
Oh,
I'm
that's
just
right.
like, yeah, yeah." And I'm just like, Jarl Håkon was a male, he was a
Mm,
white man, a
yep.
Norse man. "No, no, no, no,
Mm-hmm.
no, we are gonna use a black female," I'm like, "What? The the females even using, the Jarl, that's for men. The Jarl is for men.
Yeah.
It's for the
No,
guy."
yeah, no, and I remember that you said because it was the show, I think, was a
Yeah,
Viking. Yeah,
they use it. Yeah,
and I
Jarls of the
remember,
town.
yeah, I remember that conversation. Well, I don't remember all of it, so I apologize. But I remember that conversation where we discussed about it because he was again he was an older white guy, obviously.
Yeah,
Yeah, and I don't understand,
because they
difference between
wanted
yeah,
they wanted the woke points, as we just call it these days. Just the woke points, get the check marks of,
yeah,
we did this. Look at us, look at us,
yeah,
fantastic stuff.
yeah, and it's an irony because yes, history could point to Vikings and barbarism and Vikings and all the other stuff that comes with it, but there was that movie that came out with Alex Skarsgård, I think his name is
Yeah, yeah, the
Northman.
Northman, and I
Yeah.
hated that movie. It was so funny because a lot of my friends, they absolutely love it,
Yeah.
but I said it was basically watching The Last Jedi again for me.
Oh yeah. What was it? Just historical stuff, or what was it
No,
about you
for
you
me,
disagreed
it
with?
was more of the filmmaking, the
Okay.
dialogue.
Okay.
The fight scenes were so terrible that you saw it was fake.
Oh, okay.
That's why I compare the fight scenes with the Last Jedi fight scenes.
Mhm.
And people are like,
I
what the hell are you talking about, man?" I'm like, "No, but that's how I feel about it. I thought it was
Right.
really terrible." Some
Yeah.
scenes were just so they were filmed so long and so stupid. It's just like, "Dude, you have the time to kill 2 people right now, but you're standing there like an idiot just watching a
Right.
woman." I'm like, "Come on, that's
Yeah.
no one will." Yeah, I did not like that. It had potential, but I just didn't
Yeah.
like it.
Well, that's sort of my thing with horror films because have a lot of horror films that rely on people being idiots. You have a lot of people being
But you need some idiots in those movies. That's a
yeah,
classical thing, They have to die, some of them, to
some
make
of them,
it.
some of them, yeah, but you do have these horror movies where they rely on the what is it called? The suspending of disbelief, right?
Yeah.
Like they look at the house that looks decrepit and old and all this stuff and say, I think we should go in there. And the truth of the matter is they should not be going in there at all, but they still go in there. That sort of
I would have been stupid enough to do that because I love horror and, I'm not afraid of anything like that,
right.
so I would love to go into haunted places, and I would just love it.
Oh no,
Well, I'm a black metal guy, so of course I would. I love metal, of course I would.
You're like, where are the ghosts? And they say over there, and you say, give me 5 minutes.
Yeah, give me 5 minutes, and then I go in and it's, nobody there.
Yeah.
It's like, "This is boring, guys. Where are they? You
Yeah.
promised me."
Yeah. Oh yeah, it's sort of like I know, like it's like with the ghost hunter sort of things. Some of it's either dramatized or maybe there's some realism mixed into it, but you're never truly sure on if it's true or fake or not with that sort of
No,
stuff.
no, a lot of these shows, these reality ghost hunter shows, sometimes it's really easy to see that it's fake because 'cause they're doing
Mm,
it way too much.
mhm.
It's like when I try to make really scary scenes, it's just like, "Dude, you're not fooling me." Like
I hear a scary noise in the back. Click click click
yeah,
click.
no, no, I remember, in Norway, we used to also have a program like that called Åndenes makt.
Okay.
Um, and that's basically the spirit's power, basically. In English, it
Mm,
sounds terrible in English.
mhm.
Nor Translating Norwegian shows to English is not good,
Mm,
sometimes.
yeah,
But I
understandable.
remember that show is that because me and my dad, we actually knew some people that was on the show,
Mm.
and we're not gonna say the names of the people, of course, but
Right, right.
it was all fake for the money.
Wow.
I Most people on that show always did it for the money.
Yeah.
It was a few places that was, quote unquote hunted.
Mm,
That has story of being hunted. They were
mm,
like the most interesting parts.
mm,
But when you saw a lot of those people, you know a lot of it is fake because
mhm.
most wanted money and just be on TV.
Yeah, it's sort of like those again, like those reality shows where you have the people so what was it, Survivor, Big Brother, and all those things.
Oh God,
Uh,
Big Brother. Yeah, I remember Big Brother. We used to have Norwegian version of that too.
oh, really? Was it called Big Brother or something else?
Yes, there was Big Brother too here. So
Oh my goodness.
yeah, I remember a lot of the friends I had back in when I was younger. The
Mm,
girls, they loved watching it.
mm,
So I was friends with a lot of them, and we were like hanging out with some other guys and
mm.
them, and it's like they want to watch Big Brother, and I'm just like,
Uh,
I really wanna kill myself right now. It's like I wasn't even emo at that point, but right
yeah.
then I think that's where I started to be emo because of Big Brother. Because of these shows.
Son, let me tell you where I traced our genealogy of
Yes.
the emo from Big Brother. Oh my gosh. But I can
Yes.
understand. I mean, most I watched a bit of, there were many seasons of Survivor I watched because, my mom and stuff.
Mhm.
And then of course I watched maybe Big Brother here and there because again, my mom. Um but I mean there is a point to what you're saying about how it's majorly fake. I mean,
Yeah.
it's scripted, and I mean, do you think they'd really put a bunch of people on an island that could be filled with poisonous creatures? I mean, Eh,
Ah.
yeah, you want I
Like
mean
we had stuff like that in Norway too, but they actually travel to islands and stuff like that, actually.
wow.
But again, it is Norway. We are like used to the nature. Like that is kind of part of our thing. We
Mhm.
are part of nature. We are
Yeah.
so we are kind of used to it then. I would love to be in a show like that and, travel to a certain place and do the survivor stuff. I would love that because I love, just being creative, find out ways
Mhm.
to survive and
Yeah.
all this kind of stuff and work with other people. I might and I'm an asshole, so I probably would be pissed off on 90% of those people. If they do something wrong, I would just yell and be like, I will make a show for the people at least."
Yeah. Well, I mean, you could be like no, it's Johnny Fairplay. Sorry, that was right. Johnny
Yeah, yeah,
Fairplay
yeah,
was.
yeah.
You could have been Johnny Fairplay's like, my grandma, your grandma died. Oh,
And
oh, and that whole spiel. When it
uh,
was later found out that his grandma didn't die and she was still alive, I was like, oh, you dirty dog.
yeah.
Oh, you dirty
No, for me,
dog.
like, I grew up, like, being in a lot in the forest, because my
Mhm.
dad, we always traveled out, sleeping
Mhm.
out, going on the boats and stuff like that. So,
Mhm.
I learned how to, create spears, hunt, all this kind of stuff. He did teach me all of this 'cause
Nice.
he loved being in nature, and so do I.
Yeah.
So
So
again,
it's no, go ahead.
no, go ahead. Go ahead, man.
No, I was just about to ask. So does that mean you were your own Northman?
Yeah, yeah. My dad created me to be a Northman.
There you go. And then you were out there beating your chest like a berserker.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Uh, no, and my dad, he's also, he's not, like, fully Norwegian either, like,
Oh
he is,
wow.
Romani
Oh,
German.
Romani German. Ooh.
Yeah, the gypsies, the traveling
Ah,
people, yeah.
yeah, gypsies. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, gypsies. So my dad is half gypsy and,
Mm.
half Yahtzee, as I like to say.
Oh wow.
I always joke about it, that he's but it's not
he,
an Yahtzee, he's not, but, I
yeah.
always joke about it. So, he got born in Norway though, so
Oh, it's okay.
s so, he has the traveling people in his blood, a gypsy blood and German, and he grew up in Norway. So you're pure, you are part with nature then and family, and it's amazing stuff.
Oh yeah, yeah. You're basically set to go if the power goes out. Is the
Yeah.
power goes out? You're set to go. It's like this is nothing new to me. What is this?
Yeah, exactly.
See, I because
Uh,
I yeah I like I mean of course in America they have places to camp. Either go to a campsite or some people bring their big RVs, which isn't really much camping. It's more like luxury camping at that point.
yeah.
Um.
Now what I like to do is, no technology, no phones, no nada,
Mm,
and you're just going out there in the wild and learn to survive. That's
mm,
the way I think it should be done. It's
mm,
like the time in my life where I get kids, I want to do that. I want
mm,
to take them out on, out to the woods, and to the forest and help learn them to survive.
mm.
Also go to the ocean and all this kind of stuff.
Yeah,
I want to learn. I want them to learn what I learned when I was
yeah,
young.
yeah.
And
Because
not
I mean,
and not be too much on TikTok and,
yeah,
whatever apps that will exist when I have children, right?
yeah. It's no, but I mean that's kind of it's an understandability because I mean again a lot of people depend on technology and like I was saying earlier, if the power goes out, how do you survive? Because I
Yeah.
think a lot of people
Yeah, a
don't
lot of
don't
people
even
would go crazy.
Yeah.
It's like, yes, I am really connected to my computer and stuff like that because I am I'm an editor. I worked with editing for so many years. That's my
Mm,
profession. That's how I earn, side money,
mm,
and the side money goes to the company mostly. All this kind of
right.
stuff.
Mm,
Um, so, but if it happens, I'm just gonna be like, yeah, it's not much I can do. So
yeah.
I'm just gonna make the best out of it. If I have, I need fire and some lights, and I can, pull up a book,
Yeah.
and sit down, read. I can go out. It's a time when, because my old computer died. It's luckily
Um.
fixed now, so I have two computers now. But
Nice. Yeah.
um, and no, so when I didn't have computer, I just decided to like, try to read some books, try to
Mm,
relax,
yeah.
not be too much on the phone,
Yeah.
and I'm not really that much on the phone. Like I'm not that much on social media
Mm,
normally.
yeah.
Um, sometimes I talk with people, sometimes, and of course, X, I need to talk with people, because work, other stuff, promoting,
Yeah.
and I have Facebook, but I don't really use it that much. I only mostly use it to talk with my dad,
Yeah.
and Memnock, who is a legend in the doom and black metal in Norway.
Wow.
He's been on my channel, and I released a music video for one of their songs some days ago.
Nice. Nice.
And he's basically my second father in a way because I did grow up with having him in my life since I was young.
Wow.
I met him because he's also a martial arts teacher. I
What?
Yeah, yeah, and he was trained by Ted Wang, and Ted
Mm.
Wang was Bruce Lee's last student.
Whoa. Really?
Yes. So my master has trained under the real Lee's martial arts, and he's a descendant of the martial arts to
That's
train
a.
it. Yeah. So
That's.
I can say I'm a proud descendant with the martial arts because of my master.
It wasn't what Bruce Lee was trying to teach was it was called Jeet Kune Do, wasn't it?
Yeah, a
That was
style
his.
without a style. No,
Yeah. Cause
that's So it's a style without a style, but I always say it's kind of a style in a way, either way. But
yeah.
it was a style without a style. He had his philosophy on it, and I really love the way he has the philosophy.
Yeah.
I use the same philosophy on when I create movies, when I create shows, if I'm gonna
Mm,
edit something, whatever I do, is
mm,
that I would say this. I hate looking at tutorials to
mm,
learn new stuff. I hate it. I despise it. It's like
yeah.
I understand people doing it. Like, don't
Mm.
get me wrong, but for me personally, I'm like, I feel like a weak bitch if I do.
Understandable, yeah.
So what I do is that when I edit, I have a style without a style. I just go in there, I fuck around with the program, and
Mm,
then I learn it, and then I find the ways I like it, find the ways I want to edit stuff,
yeah.
and just learn everything by myself. Actually,
Yeah.
that's the way I like to do it. Same with games. I don't want to have tutorial. If I can turn off tutorial in every game, I am happy.
Yeah.
I always mock my friends when they go through tutorial. I'm like, you are weak bitches. Like, you are weak bitches. That's easy mode. If you're gonna play a game, you're gonna be old school gamer, no
Yeah.
tutorial. Just go in there in the hardest level on the game. No easy mode, just the
Yeah.
hardest level on the game, and just go in there and learn, no matter how many times you die.
Yeah. Well, yeah, and that's understandable too. I mean, everyone has their own motive.
Everyone has their own way.
Some people just start out from like the crazy end of things, the crazy hard stuff at the beginning. It's sort of like, here we go, sort of thing. But I mean,
Yeah.
I understand that at least from the perspective of, you're sort of more self-taught, right? You're more
Yeah.
self-taught in
Everything
the way you
that
do.
everything I have done is basically self-taught
Mm.
mostly.
Yeah.
I started with film editing. Oh God, I don't remember when.
Mm.
I was always interested in
Yeah.
film,
Oh.
because again, who doesn't love Star Wars, right?
I'm not the biggest of fan, but I can understand that. Yes.
Yeah. So Star Wars, George Lucas was one of my biggest inspirations when it comes
Hmm.
to movies and creation. And
Right.
of course, my favorite movie in the world is The Crow with Brandon
Oh
Lee.
yeah, yeah. Mm,
Yeah. And I even liked their new Crow movie with Bill Skarsgård, actually, because I talked about it as a comic book fan and
mm,
how I viewed it as a comic book fan. I get a lot of shit. We can get into that a little bit after we talk about this.
yeah.
But yeah, I started with film editing. The reason I started with it was because, yeah, my inspiration, George Lucas, and then the Crow movie.
Yeah.
Um, and I always wanted to actually do movies. I always wrote scripts as I was a kid. Always
Yeah.
created my own universes. Actually FiveFourty Studio has been with me since a child. That was
Wow.
my I've had it since I was probably 9 or 10 years old.
That's
So I
insane.
yeah, so I've kept the name since I was young, like since I was a little boy. Because
Mm.
the original thing is that when I was really small, I always wanted to call my company 540 Comics because I want to make
Yeah.
my own comics.
Oh wow.
Um, yeah. But I always wrote stories. I always created stories. I was
Mm.
always in that era of area of in my
Right.
head.
Mm.
Um, and I of course I went to school, but I didn't go to school for film editing and stuff like that because I was so tired of school, sick and
Right.
tired. But
Yeah.
I went to high school 2 years just to get it done.
Mm.
I went to school to either become a psychiatrist or a doctor.
Mm.
But it wasn't quite for me. So I'm like, I kind of drop out in a way in the second year. Um, but when I'm looking back now, I'm like, dude, I should have just gone to film school. uh,
Yeah.
but either way, so many years passed, and
Mm.
I've always been interested. First, I did a lot of music, but
Right.
yes, I love music. I still create music to this day.
Nice.
But it's not really my big dream. I like to just create music. I
Right.
might put out stuff,
Right.
and just do stuff.
Mm.
But filmmaking, it's just that company film has always been there since I was a kid, and
Mm.
it was after The Last Jedi I decided to start editing
Okay.
because I have talked to the guy. I was actually on an interview with the guy some years ago, actually.
Oh wow.
He is actually part of Geeks and Gamers, Ivan Ortega.
Mm.
Um, Great YouTuber.
Mm.
But I also found him on YouTube at the time, and I
Mm.
saw that he was like doing the re-edit of The Last Jedi. So I
Yeah.
decided if he can do it,
Yeah.
fuck, I'm gonna do it too. So I went back to Premiere Pro. I went to back to all programs I could, and I'm just like,
Mm.
fuck it. I'm just gonna download the movie. I'm just
Yeah.
gonna put it in and try to edit and learn.
Mm.
And that's how my career as an editor started. And after that, I just became better and better.
Yeah.
And I have worked for other YouTubers. I'm not gonna name
Okay.
names and stuff as a private
Right. Right.
editor, of
Yeah.
course,
Yeah.
but I started, working for YouTubers. I worked on other productions for other people and helped
Mm.
out. So that became a big part of my life,
Yeah.
with the film editing. And I'm happy because it was always my dream in a way, because it was always there. And
Yeah.
sometime I will create my own movies also,
Right.
with my company.
Mm.
Um, but yeah, with The Last Jedi, I did re-edit it. I have re-edited I also did a re-edit of Acolyte,
Oh.
Obi-Wan. I've done
Mm.
just because fuck it.
Yeah. Why not?
Um, and the only sad part is a lot of people saw a lot of my Acolyte edit
Mm.
of what I did, but unfortunately my computer died and I lost
Oh. Oh.
it. Even though I'd even shared clip on on our streams, and people were
Mm.
so excited to watch it, and I'm like, I'm sorry, I have to do everything all over.
Oh
But
no.
I will
Mm.
do everything all over because it's a learning experience. People say, "Why
Yeah.
do you want to torture yourself?" One of
Right.
my best friends is always, "Why do you want to torture yourself? Just burn it to hell, burn the show to hell." I'm like, "No, I get you. Like, I do get you,
Uh-huh.
but it's a learning experience to take
Yeah.
another product that is terrible and try to make something out of it,
Yeah.
and actually try to create a story of something bad."
Mm.
Um,
It's
you
like
know, so
trying to. It's like trying to do the thing where they say, you can shine a turd, that sort of thing.
yeah, exactly. Mm. And also, I just wanted to do that with a lot of this kind of stuff.
Right.
Um, but no, became a film editor. Started my company like I think is it 5 6 years ago now. I have no clue.
Nice.
Time goes so fast.
Oh yeah.
Uh,
Mhm.
so we started actually out on Twitch, just
Mhm.
gaming. None of the original members are there anymore. It's all
Oh.
new people of
Right.
540. But we started, just streaming games, doing halfway
Mhm.
podcast, halfway gaming.
Mhm.
So we just started there, and then finally I got two right people for a while on the
Mhm.
show,
Right.
and we created from a certain point of view.
Mhm.
Stupidest name. It was just so simple. It's just like yes, a Star Wars, thing.
Yeah.
but we didn't know what to call it. We didn't know
Mhm.
what to call it. It's just like, we just pick a name.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah.
and then we just run with that for a long time, and then
Mhm.
we started with the after show, as we called it, and the
Oh.
after show became the Beyond,
Oh,
and
wow.
that's our main show that we have every
Mhm.
Thursday right now, where we talk
Mhm.
about pop culture and shit on a lot of stuff.
Yeah. Yeah,
uh,
definitely there's a lot of stuff to do that for.
yeah, but one thing that we are not is an echo chamber, at least, because that's one thing. It's like, I'm not naming names of other YouTubers, but
Right.
one thing that I have stopped watching so many YouTubers because everything is an echo chamber almost these days, and I just uh, there's so
Yeah.
much of it. It's so much of echo chambers. It's like listening to people repeating each other in every
Yeah.
sentence, and I'm just like, I that's not me.
Yeah.
Um, so we all of on the panel, we have different opinions on so much,
Yeah.
and that's what I love, having different opinions. And I'm gonna get to that because I like the new Crow movie, for example, right?
Mm.
A lot of people just trashing on it,
Right.
but I went back to read the comics. I looked at the interviews before the movie, and I'm like, I need to forget that I love the first movie right now. It's not a remake, it's an adaptation of the comic,
Right.
and they did a lot of things from the comic in this movie too. I was like, "Oh shit, I remember that from the comic." Wow,
Yeah.
it was like shit. Um, so no, I gave the movie a 9 out of 10. I
Mm.
really absolutely loved it, and
Mm.
everybody jokes that I look like Bill Skarsgård's stunt double. I still wait for my money.
Yeah.
You hear that? I want my money right now.
I did all that work. I broke an arm
Yeah.
here.
Yeah, I broke my leg, man, and put it back together. Come on. No, so I really liked it, and then it comes to, and I got a lot of shit from it. Oh my god, people are mocking the shit out of me,
Yeah.
but that was not the worst. The worst thing was when I said I loved Rebel Moon,
Ooh.
because
Spicy take.
that is a spicy take. Because when it comes to the director's cut, I gave them a 10 out of 10.
Mm. Oh, wow.
And yeah, and even said, and a lot of people have given me shit on it. And I'm just like, give me the shit. I don't care, man. I'm Norwegian. I've been
Yeah.
through worse.
Yeah.
And no, I loved the story of Rebel Moon. I loved the
Mm.
characters. I loved how it was shot. I'm a big Zack Snyder fan. I don't like
Oh, wow.
everything that he does, and
Right.
but I will criticize stuff, of course, as a filmmaker myself.
Mm.
Everything can be criticized, even if you like the creator.
Yeah.
I love George Lucas, but I still, give him, shit for stuff if he does something shit.
Yeah.
Simple as that.
Yeah.
Um, I really loved everything basically with the movie, and I said this. I For me, it's kind of weird to say, but I liked it more than Star Wars because Rebel Moon was everything that I wanted as a kid in a
Wow.
sci-fi movie. It was
Interesting.
everything that I wanted.
Mhm.
I wanted R rating. I love R rating. So I got the R rating. I got a good, I good, I got Howdy. I got good characters that I felt and I cared about,
Mhm.
action scenes that I wanted, and of course I had sex scenes, spicy sex scenes in it. And I'm like,
Oh,
that's
I
cool.
see. I see what
Yeah,
you were
yeah,
looking for. All right.
yeah. The Sophia, the main actress. Yeah, of course. Nice tits.
Goodness. So, and that's
But no.
yeah, no, that's pretty. I mean, I personally get that because there have been movies I've seen that I've enjoyed, and there have been people who watch, movie critics, whatever you want to call them, who've watched movies that, when they kind of trashed a bit. To some degree, I understood. So there was one movie I went to see. It was called
Yeah.
If. It was with that Ryan Gosling and all that stuff
Yeah, yeah,
movie.
yeah. That if, yeah.
And for me, I could understand, a lot of people just didn't like it, it just whatever. And for the first half of the movie, I could get that, right? It kind of was a little distorted. And, okay, so what does the dad have? We kind of have an understanding of what the mom has, but we don't. And then
Yeah.
acts sort of weird and all this stuff. But when it gets to the second half of the movie, I'm like, I don't agree with any of that, because now the movie's changed from trying to
Yeah.
mash these characters up to kids, like transplant them, trying to
Yeah.
now go to their original kid and trying to reconnect them. And how they do it is
Yeah.
through memories and all this stuff. And that's a hitting point. It's sort of, for me, it was
Yeah.
sort of going back to the child that was, because that's what the adults were.
Yeah.
They were the child that
Exactly.
was. And so you have this sort of thing where now it's changed that paradigm. Sort of the halfway point for me was when they went to the retirement home and they do that whole Tina Fey,
Yeah.
not Tina Fey, Tina Turner song, all that
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah.
After that, the movie was just like I I see what it's trying to do. That first half, little
Mm.
iffy, but the second half, I'm like, I see what this movie is trying to do now, and it works for me.
Yeah.
And
No,
it's
that
just
is
stuff like that.
important. Yeah, no,
Yeah,
it is important. Like, it's important that people have their own opinions, and we can all, agree to disagree with certain stuff. I
yeah,
have friends who like stuff that I don't like. Like one of my co-hosts, Techno Sapien Geek,
mhm,
a good friend of mine, and all that, and he loved the Halo show. I
yeah,
I don't agree with it. I think it's a
right,
shit show, but
yeah,
he enjoyed it, and the things that I asked him, I was like, we were on the stream, one of the streams, I had to ask him there too. It's like, why do you love it?
mhm,
And he explained it, because of the story, and he felt that it was Halo, and he felt that they were building up to the Halo games, and I'm like, the way you explain it, that's what I want to hear, just an honest opinion and how you feel about it.
yeah,
We might not agree on it, but the most
mhm.
important thing is, I say, if you like it, good for you, man. I will probably still shit on it, but but at least you like it, and that's the most
Yeah,
important thing. Don't care. Don't bother what I have to say if you like it.
yeah,
Is that what we say to our audience too? It's like, don't listen to everything that we have to say, because that's just our opinions as geeks
yeah,
and people who work in the industry.
yeah.
But if you have your own opinion on something, just you know have your opinion on it. If people disagree,
Yeah, I'll bring up a great example of that. And of course, just in context, the movie did fail in the box office, so that's one way people judge if a movie's successful or not, right? If it does well in the box office. But the one movie that came out that I really enjoyed watching, and wish I could have seen more of in theaters was Better Man. Is the
yeah,
one Robbie Williams
yeah,
biopic, and
yeah,
yeah,
yeah, yeah. That's a good one. I like that
yeah.
one.
And my thing was is I understood because one thing that worked against it was possibly the marketing for the movie, but also was that Robbie Williams is not that well known in the U.S. Maybe more in the Europe side, but he's not that well known in the U.S. Even though he does live in the U.S. with his family. I think they live in Los Angeles or whatever. But I went to go see the movie, and there wasn't really any of the movie to see, and I was sort of like, oh, it's a monkey. What's going on here?
Oh yeah, that
Um,
movie. Okay, I was thinking about another movie.
No, no, yeah, this was the one where he's portrayed through as a CGI monkey, but it does kind of through the movie, it gets explained of why he's portrayed that way, right?
Yeah.
Um, and I went to go see it. I saw it twice, but I went to go see it in a theater, and it was sort of pretty empty. There's like a few other people, but I went to go see that movie, and I'm just like, you got to be kidding me. This movie, I
Yeah.
gave that movie a 9 out of 10, and I'm watching these other people on there. Yes, they're arguing from the basis of it failed at the
Yeah.
box office and all
And
that
that
stuff.
too, and probably some people also think it's weird that he decided to use a monkey and
Yeah,
all that. So that I have
and they
not
did,
seen it, so I will not judge it because
yeah,
I have not seen it. But
yeah,
I will
eh,
check it out. I will
yeah,
check it out to see how it is.
yeah. And of course, the director Michael Gracie, who was also the director of The Greatest Showman, if you've ever heard of that movie, um, they kind of
I
go
like
in
that
the
movie.
yeah, he kind of goes in the explanation of sort of why. It's not too deep. It's sort of like I don't want to give too much away, but they kind of do in interviews and stuff
Yeah.
kind of go into why he's portrayed that way because once you do see it after through parts of the movie you will. I mean, at least for me, I got it. I was just like, this is
Yeah.
amazing, and then I went to go see it
No, but
again
because
because
of you, you sold me. I will give it a chance.
yeah. Oh, hey, Rumblecracker, nice to see you.
Hail.
Yeah,
No,
nice
so
to
I'm
see
gonna
you.
give it a chance at least, because
Yeah, I look like you were saying earlier, right? Even with movie reviewers and stuff out there, the best opinion to trust is your own because
yep,
these people will give you their perspective of what they saw, which is not your perspective. It's not your eyes, it's not your ears, it's not how you felt during the movie. They are giving their
yeah,
perspective. It can inspire you, right? It can
yep,
inspire you to go see it, but it cannot give you the full experience. It's like me watching the MonsterVerse Godzilla movies. A lot of people don't like that. They more
yep.
enjoyed the Shin Godzilla or the
Yeah,
Godzilla
the
minus
original
one.
Japan yeah.
Yeah.
Like me, it's like that's what I like too, is the Japanese one, and I don't really care much of the American versions.
MonsterVerse, yeah.
Yeah, I'm not my complete thing, because 'cause I'm more of, I love Asian movies, and I watch a lot
Yeah.
of Asian movies and
Yeah,
stuff
yeah.
like that, and,
Mhm.
But I can understand, why people can like, the MonsterVerse. Also, if they do, I don't hate those movies. It's just not for me.
Yeah,
It's many movies that are not made for me, but I do understand why they like it.
yeah,
It's like Inside Out, for example. A
yeah,
lot of people love Inside Out. A lot of
mm,
grown-ups and everything, and it's not my cup of tea. I don't really watch movies like that. But,
mm,
I gave both a watch, and, I saw the first one a long time ago, and my one of my
right.
friends, Cash Money, I'm looking at you, he was like, "But it says a good movie," and he always ranted about it. I'm like, "Okay, fine, fuck it. I'm gonna watch it, okay? I'm just gonna fucking watch it." So I watched it, and
Mm,
I'm just like, "You know what? It's not my cup of tea of a movie. It's not a bad movie. It's not my cup of tea,
yeah,
but I do understand when I watch it, I'm like, I do really understand why grown-ups, kids, and all that likes it. It's a perfect family movie.
yeah.
It
Well,
has
it's
the right
Pixar, yeah.
message. Yeah, so it has the right message to, hey, but it has the right message to the grown-ups, to the kids, how it is to grow up, how it is to have
Yeah,
these feelings,
yeah,
and no stupid pushed agenda in it that we see in
yeah,
everything else. And I'm
yeah,
like, that's what you should focus on with every movie, even though it's not made for me, but it's made for a lot of people who are more into this, who feel
yeah.
this a lot more.
Mhm,
Like if I have kids, like I would absolutely watch this kind of stuff. I
mhm.
think the only time I will have a hard time watching is like the original Lion King because I hate that movie.
Wow.
I have, spicy takes on stuff, so
Fire! I'm feeling the heat.
mhm,
Oh my god,
yeah.
no.
It's like I would say, the original Lion King is a piss poor ripoff of Kimba the White Lion.
Yeah, oh yeah, I've seen that. Oh, or I've seen also people say like Hamlet too, the
Yeah,
William Shakespeare. No, but I have
no,
seen that, and I
and the
think.
characters are the same, just as
Mm,
Kimba the White Lion. Everyone is basically the same, and I grew up watching Kimba the White Lion. That's what I grew up watching.
mhm.
So I always say, I didn't the funny thing, I did not watch Lion King until I was, like, 18.
Oh wow,
I
that's
watched it with my
understandable. Yeah.
yeah, I watched it with my ex-girlfriend for the first time.
Hmm.
'Cause I
And you're
didn't
like,
yeah, she was like, "What are you saying?" Like, I was like, "This is shit. This is just a goddamn fucking ripoff of Kim of the White Lion. What the hell are we watching?
right.
I don't like this shit."
Um.
Because the thing with me is that I didn't grow up like normal kids watching a lot of kids stuff.
Right.
I watched a couple things here and there, like Atlantis, a Treasure Planet, other stuff here and there on the side, but it
Hmm.
wasn't really what drove me in most things.
Hmm.
I grew up watching a lot of horror movies.
Yeah.
Yeah, like Star Wars horror movies, like, but a lot of horror movies. I love
Yeah.
horror, so I was like the only one in my class who was watching horror movies. So every time they came to visit me,
Mm.
they I was like, I don't want to watch kid movies. I want to watch like Friday the 13th, Freddy Krueger movies, Chucky.
Yeah.
That's like
And
childhood memories.
yeah. Well, no, and I've watched some horror movies. It's just for me it's just they rely on gore and stuff a little too much more than I care to watch for. So like the one horror movie I enjoyed watching was that Megan movie that Bloomhouse did a while back. It's
Yeah,
the
it's not my favorite. It's not
uh,
too horrible. It's like not the worst thing ever. It's just like we've seen so much of that through the years, but it's
yeah,
in the beginning I was like, meh, I don't really feel for it.
yeah,
Rewatched it some time ago. I'm like, yeah, it's not the worst one. It could have
mm,
been worse.
yeah.
And now we're getting the second one, so it's gonna be fun to see the second movie, see what the hell they're gonna do with the second one.
Yeah, because I mean, after the first one came out, there was a big demand for a number two, which usually people would, the studio or whatever would take that as a sign of success and they do more. I do know the other one I watched, that I enjoyed was of course the FNAF one, right? The Five Nights at Freddy's.
Yeah,
Because again, if no one knows what Five Nights at Freddy's is, it was a game created by Scott Cawthon, who he's a Christian dude, sure, but I mean, he created a
yeah,
horror game that's spanned
got
not
so
only
popular.
it's dozens of games, books, and now another movie is on the
Movie
way. I think,
franchise.
yeah, a
Yes,
movie
it
franchise,
was
and
his the two sequels. It's coming.
yeah, well, I there was an interview he did with a YouTuber called I think Dawkin or something like that. I
Yeah,
can't remember. He was English, and he did say if he was going to do a movie of the franchise, he would do a trilogy, because
yeah,
of
that's
course,
good.
Yeah, so if they're doing the movie, if the second one does well, there will be a trilogy. But if he goes beyond that, though,
Well,
that's something that I'm
I
not
just
keen
wish it
on.
was R-rated, but I understand why it wasn't. Because a
Yeah.
lot of kids grew up loving the game because also Markiplier.
Oh yeah, Markiplier.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember Markiplier. That's how I first found Markiplier was through
Yep.
FNAF, and I went to.
Yes.
That's when he had that like faux hawk. That's where he was wearing that faux hawk
Yeah.
back in the day.
Yes. Oh, I remember I was watching a TikTok video. It was kind of funny.
Uh,
The people were going to the cinema to watch the movie, but there was
uh,
one thing missing. It was Markiplier, right?
yep.
So they took a picture of him and put it on the side of the
Mhm.
cinema, so
Yeah.
it looks like he's playing the movie.
Yeah. Well, and there was an explanation given to that too. I think it was because he was filming for that for the film Iron Lung, which is a game,
Yeah,
right?
he's filming for that
Yeah.
because he was supposed to be in the movie. They want
Yeah.
him to be there. It's
Yeah.
understandable because he's the one who made the games popular in the first place.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Well,
Without
yeah, him and other content creators, but for Iron Lung, I think that's really on him because I know he's talked
yeah.
to the creator of that game, which I
Yeah,
don't
he
remember the name.
he made a teaser for it, a little teaser thing,
Yeah, that
so
was a
it's
long
gonna be
while ago.
interesting to see it. And then he did a TV show thing
Oh
for
yeah.
some horror, yeah, the dream that you can't sleep. You have to
Yeah.
stay awake. It was pretty
Mm,
decent, not the best
mm,
thing I've seen. They tried to do it a little bit they tried too hard with certain stuff. The acting was
right.
a little bit like it was okay. Markiplier,
Mm.
you can act better. I've seen you act better, but it's all about the directors and people behind it and all that. Um,
I could just see you sit down with Marketplace and say, look, 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 look. You're good, but I know you can be better.
yeah, it's like, if I am gonna create movies, that's how I am.
Yeah. Well,
It's
yeah,
like,
yeah,
I'm
my
honest.
yeah. Look, I want you to stop being a baby and start showing me what kind of a man you are.
Yes, exactly. Do
You're
better, man. Come
you're
on.
Markiplier. Stop being this wuss.
Yeah. Stop being a bitch and actually do something, man.
Yeah, that'd be so funny. You have like you remember when that whole recording came out of like Christian Bale going like crazy on that director or whatever that
Yeah.
movie was. You just think you have like one of those and you hear the audience like, look, I'm tired of you being a wimp. Come on, let's get back to this. Show me what you're made of.
Yeah, but
You-
sometimes you have to be tough sometimes
yeah,
because there are good actors or good singers, for example.
yeah,
Sometimes you have to push them a little to make them achieve what they can do.
yeah,
Even if it can be a little heated, but you want to get the best out of them. You
yeah.
want to help them out. So sometimes harsh critique is
Hmm.
important. It's like I also listen to a lot of K-pop and J-pop and stuff like
Yeah.
that. Yeah, I grew up with it. Like, I'm a big fan of Big Bang, for example. They are the
Oh,
kings
okay.
of yeah, they are also rappers.
Oh, wow.
They are good rappers. Like they inspired so many
Mm.
people. It's crazy. They are Michael Jackson of Korea. That's what they are.
Ooh.
That's how popular they are.
Oh, wow. That
Yes.
more
Uh,
popular than BTS?
oh, BTS would not be here today if it wasn't for Big Bang.
Wow. Whew.
Big Bang is the one who created the whole thing for people. They became the
Wow.
biggest group in the world in Korea, like the biggest K-pop group and K-rap group.
Wow.
And yeah, it's like when the group, the three members right now that are last came back
Mhm.
last year. Everybody lost it. It was like, oh my god, on the concert, everybody
Uh,
you can barely hear them sing. You just heard the crowd going wild. People almost
wow.
crying because they came back. That's how
Wow.
popular they are. And T.O.P., the Top, who played
Yeah.
Thanos in Squid Game,
Ooh.
he is in Big Bang. He used to be in Big Bang,
Oh, okay.
um, but he might come back because he's gonna come back with music. So he is always welcome back to them, as they have
Wow.
basically said. But what I was gonna get to the point is that I watch a lot of behind the scenes. Yes, a lot in Korea is the companies are not always great, but there are a couple
Mhm.
great companies there.
Yeah.
And one company I like is JIP. He's also
JIP.
he's
Mm.
also a classic K-pop star from back in the day before we
Mhm.
were basically born. He's super old,
Mm. Right.
but he is really hard with the critic.
Mm.
He made some of the girl groups he had cry, but that's because he was
Wow.
critical. He was critical.
Right.
Like he knows you can. He's a king in this. Like he knows how to do this. He's been doing this for so many years. So he understands how to do it. Like he's had the same stuff happen to him, and now he's the leader of a company. And
Wow.
he all he did when I listened to the tape, I listened to the video and with the subtitles, all
Mm,
he did was giving critic and just make her do the best she can because he knows that she can do better.
mm,
And sometimes, yeah, harsh critique can hit you a little.
mm,
I've had hard critique myself, and I know how it feels,
mm,
and I like it. I want that critique because it makes me want to drive even better. I want to do this better. I know I can do better,
mm.
and that's what he did. But then you have a lot of these K-pop fans who think they are the best in the world, knows
Yeah,
everything. They want to
yeah.
cancel him, call him a sexist and abuse women. And I'm like,
Wow.
no, he didn't. There was only harsh critique to
Mm,
make the best out of her voice because she could sing really well. So
mm,
sometimes harsh critique is good.
yeah. Have you I know you said you've listened like J-pop and K-pop, but have you ever heard of the band Baby Metal?
Yes, I have.
What do you think about them?
Overhyped. I do like them, but overhyped. Everybody, the most annoying thing is that a lot of people are like, oh, but they invented, the kawaii metal. They invented all that. I'm like, no, we have so many girl metal bands that is from Japan that have done the
Wow.
same for years.
Mm,
It's just like it's nothing new.
yeah. Out.
They're good at what they do, but it's
Yeah.
just like I've heard this before, so it's not like any big for me.
Well, who was it? They worked with. They did do a collab song with a band. I can't remember the name, but it was a
Electric
Kingslayer.
Oldboy.
No, there was a song.
Oh, Kingslayer. I bring the horizon.
Yeah, there was a metal. Yeah, I think
Yeah.
they're metal band too. They
Yeah,
collabed with
Bring the
them.
Horizon. Yeah,
Yeah,
from, the UK.
yeah.
You it's like I said, you've never been emo if you didn't listen to Bring the Horizon, because they were a big thing back at that time if you were emo. Like,
Yeah.
they do a couple of great songs here and there, but,
Mm,
I hate the vocalist. I just
yeah.
hate him. He's so woke that oh god. He's he's
They
so annoying.
just throw them in the harbor with the tea. That's all you have to do.
Yeah. It's just like, I just gonna listen to the music. I'm trying to ignore the person. I still love your music, some of the music. Other than some of the songs, they try to be like a metalcore version of Post Malone in one of the songs, and I'm just like, oh god, stop
Wow.
it, stop using that auto tune that Post Malone does.
What about oh, what was it? I can't remember. I think it's Metallica, right? Because that's an
Yeah,
American.
Metallica. Yeah, that's a classic band.
Yeah, because the I don't know if you ever heard of it, but there was that show called Stranger
Stranger
Things,
Things. Yes, and
Netflix.
yeah, that scene. That's the best scene in the show
Oh
when he
yeah,
just goes wild with the song. I love that. That's a good scene.
Ma Master of Puppets. That's actually the first time
Yeah.
I ever heard of
Really?
Master of Puppets. Yeah, and so when I heard of that, I was like, yeah, that's pretty. I'm not a metalhead by any standard that's
No.
considered a metalhead. It was just one of those hard rock. It's sort of like in its own essence a stronger version of like Helter Skelter, right? Like I'm a Beatles person. You know, I've listened to Beatles music for a long
Yeah.
time, but they at one point tried to do a song called Helter Skelter, which is their
Yeah.
trying to be hardcore in essence, but
Yeah.
if you try to compare it to a metal song, it's not gonna stand
Yeah,
up.
no, I get you.
But it's just one of those things where I am picky in my music, but if it sounds good, I'll listen to it. You know.
Yeah, and that's the most
Uh,
important thing, you know. Yes, yes, I'm a goddamn metalhead, you know. I love black metal, doom metal, and
mm,
all types of metal
mm,
mostly. And but I still, I like other stuff, I like R&B, I love pop, I love a lot of different genres because it
mm.
inspires me. I also have done pop songs, I've done R&B songs, dark trap songs.
Right.
And so I like a lot of different stuff
Mm,
too, but I'm really picky
yeah.
because it really needs to hit you. Of course, the music needs to hit you the right
Mm,
spot.
yeah.
um and also, again, I listen for everything from K-pop to girl
Mm.
K-pop to hardcore black metal, which
Yeah.
talks about death and Satan.
Yeah.
It's two different complete genres. And then
Mm,
suddenly I throw in some R&B talking about sexy loves and all
mm-hmm.
this
Mm-hmm.
booties, and just listen to the melody.
Mm. Put a little Barry White on, you'll be all right. Yeah, I listen to, I mean, I listen to some of today's music too, but I listen to stuff like electronica music and
Yeah,
there's
I
actually
love electronic
a
music.
yeah, there's actually a band called Winter Got Gotten Gotten Garten. And it's a and he's on YouTube too, but he has a band, but what he does is that a while back he put out a video where he built this marble machine. And it was a
Yeah.
musical marble machine. It wasn't perfect or anything like that. His
Yeah,
marble
yeah,
machine
yeah.
has gotten better over time. But the marble machine, he would just do it and it was just the machine playing. And of course he had switches and stuff to lever it, but it
Yeah,
was
yeah,
just
yeah.
marbles. So I was just like, that is incredible. I mean,
Yeah,
it
that is
looks like
cool though.
yeah, it looks like he lost a lot of marbles during that period of time. But I mean, if you've seen his like vlog videos and all stuff, because he's trying to make a marble machine he can have on stage with him.
That is cool.
And I'm like, that's a lot of logistics and a lot of engineering issues. But I mean,
Yeah.
if he could make it work, he could
Well,
he
then
could as
that's gonna be incredible if you make it work. That's
yeah
yeah, that's
he
cool.
he could make he could be a one man band. But just to see that kind of innovation stuff, like I don't think I've ever seen a musician be innovative in the sense. I mean, I know there's, the tape tricks and audio tricks and all that stuff. But when you're
Yep.
making your own backup or instrument thing in the background that can go at certain tempos and stuff like that,
Yeah.
I mean, like, hats off to you. I hope it
Yeah,
works,
no,
but
I totally agree with that. That's actually really amazing, to be honest. And
yeah,
for me, it's like no matter what music I listen to, I will always go back to the black metal and the
mm,
screaming, and it's like I like so much, but there's just something with the dark music and the screaming and the melodies that just drives me a lot wilder. I just love it.
yeah,
I've done it since I was a kid, and my dad is a metalhead himself, so of course it's on me. It just had to go on me.
yeah,
Um, but I also, I love Michael Jackson, for example. He is
nice.
my all-time favorite artist.
Mm.
I even have a tattoo of my favorite album on my arm. I have a lot of tattoos. I have so
Oh,
many that I've lost count.
was it Thriller?
No, it's bad. That's my favorite
Ah,
album.
oh, I almost said
Yeah,
that.
so I have the logo tattooed on my arm,
Nice.
and I'm really excited for the biopic this year of Michael Jackson.
Oh, they have one for him too?
Yeah, it's Jafar Jackson who plays Michael Jackson, and he's a nephew of Michael Jackson. The family of Michael
Oh,
has been helping with this movie,
oh,
so we
nice.
know it's not gonna be fucked with. Um,
Right. Because there was I remember before he passed, he was doing like a documentary or something like that where they were traveling
yeah.
around with him and all this stuff. It's like,
Yeah, yeah, he made a little documentary that he did, you can find
mm,
on YouTube, and, I really love it because he kind of admitted to it that he doesn't really like to be on stage. He doesn't really like it, but he loves the fans, and he still likes
yeah,
the music or likes to create music, but he
uh,
didn't really like to be on stage.
yeah. It's sort of one of those things where a great example would be is again, going back to the Beatles after they had the issue sort of thing with the run-in with the Queen of Malaysia or Philippines, whatever it was. They're
Yeah,
like, we're done with touring because we almost got hijacked by this, Queen or whatever.
yeah,
And so their idea was to send out their album like it's the concert sort of thing.
yeah,
That was Sergeant Pepper because they got the idea from Elvis Presley, who set out, I think, like a
yeah,
gold Cadillac or whatever it was, with
yeah,
his
yeah, yeah.
album in it, and just yeah. So it's one of those things where it's understandable where like for someone like Michael Jackson's like, look, I don't want to be on stage, but
Yeah.
I do it because of the fans.
Yeah, and I can also understand him, because the way he was treated since he was a kid and all the
Mm-hmm.
shit he had to go through.
Mm-hmm.
It kind of takes the fun away from you, that it kind of
Mm,
does.
mm,
But he still did it, and that's what I love about him. He was dedicated. He made great shows. Like, look
yeah.
at his shows. Not many people did stuff like that. It
Mm,
was like a whole story. It was an experience, and I'm still
yeah.
sad that I never got to see him live because unfortunately, he passed away
Yeah.
in 2009.
Mm,
I still believe that he was killed, but that's my opinion.
yeah.
Um,
And
I feel that
yeah, it's reasonable to say for information that's been put out there that it possibly
yeah,
could have been an overdose or whatever. So there's that. I mean, that's a possibility
that
too.
doctor should have known better.
Yeah.
He's a
It,
doctor, for fuck's sake.
yeah.
I
But
went to school for doctor stuff. So,
that's
dude, you should have known.
That's the best way to put it, is like, you instead of saying you have a diploma, you just say, "I went to doctor school for doctor stuff, so I know my stuff."
Yeah, I want to become a psychiatrist or doctor,
Mm.
so I know my stuff, man. We learn about stuff.
Yeah,
Come
see,
on,
there's
dude.
this brain stuff over here and the sick stuff over here. I know that. I know that. It's okay. Don't worry
Yeah.
about it. But anyway, so it is the top of the hour, or power hour, as I call it.
Yep.
And what I do is that uh, I set aside some time for us to sort of promote ourselves, right? Because obviously there are
Yeah.
creators who do like sort of do that thing at the beginning of the show or at the end of the show, or sporadic throughout.
Yeah, it's
I
like
kind
us.
of
We do it always the end of the show where we go through the whole panel and let everybody promote themselves.
Yeah, I do it at the like every hour, so it's like a timing thing, right? So that way it's sort of like
Yeah.
because I do there's at a point where I have to stop because I do have a full-time job, so I
Yeah, of
do have
course.
to, and then I have to set up because my computer is out right now and being
Yeah,
repaired at a
and I
repair
just want
shop.
to say one thing. I know
Yeah.
the Viking song from Slaughter to Prevail. I love Alex Terrible. He's one of the most badass fucking beasts out there with the best fucking vocals. He
Wow.
sounds like a fucking monster, and he's not fixing his voice.
Yeah.
What fun thing about Alex Terrible? He has wrestled a bear. He's been riding a bear. He was on the back on a bear and riding the bear.
Yeah. Oh goodness.
He is crazy, but again, it's Alex Terrible. He's a crazy Russian, and I
Mm,
love him.
mm.
Love that guy. Love that guy.
That's insane. But yeah, so I do like at the top of the hour,
Yeah,
just because of the timing thing. And of course, I put your Twitter X, like YouTube, down in the description below.
yeah,
So there's all that. But if you want to promote yourself in your own way, the floor is
yeah. No,
yours.
I can do that. Well, you can find me on FiveFourty Studio. That's the channel, my channel with it's my company. With a lot of
Mm,
I have a lot of co-hosts. And we talk about pop
mm,
culture on Thursdays. We always have the Beyond Show where we talk about the topic of the days,
mm,
everything pop culture, sometimes politics. It really
mm.
depends on what's going on.
Right.
We also have a show on Saturday where I have my co-host Tom, the Techno Sapien Geek. The
Mm.
show is called Skullcast, and you're also welcome there if you ever want to visit us on Skullcast and talk with us.
Nice.
What we do there is that it's a show where we don't focus on any topics. It's basically a little bit like this. We talk about everything.
Mm,
We just want to have fun, try to talk about positive stuff because the Beyond show is not as positive all the time because we go through detailed shit of
mm.
Hollywood and other
Right.
stuff. But Skullcast, we talk about a lot of fun stuff. The show we're gonna do this Saturday, we're gonna talk about Royal Rumble 2025 because
Oh.
yeah, I'm a wrestling guy too.
Oh, nice.
So we're gonna talk about that, and Tom is finally gonna shine because Techno Sapien Geek, aka Tom, he's the
Uh.
king of wrestling. He knows
Ooh.
every little single detail of everything. It's like I can just
Oh.
shut up through 90% of the stream. I'm just gonna let him talk, you know. um, and you can also, of course, you can find me with Sir Talkslot,
Mm,
Talkslot Entertainment. Sometimes I
mm.
am on his show where we talk about disgusting food like testicle pizza. What do you say?
Oh,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
oh, oh,
It's
uh-uh.
food crimes we talk about. Food crimes. And I
Mm.
will say, fuck you, Sweden, because you are retarded when it comes to certain pizzas. Um,
Call him out.
and you can, yeah, and you can also find me, of course, with Comic Relief Crusaders, normally on
Mm,
Tuesdays and Fridays, where we talk
mm.
about pop culture and some funny news.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, that's where you can find me. And every time I do another show, I will always promote it as much as I can.
Mm.
I forgot to do that today because I'm on my other computer right now.
That's fine.
But I will reshare it later.
Mm.
And what else? If like I always say, if you need an editor and stuff like that, I'm always for hire. It's my
Nice.
job to be an
Nice.
editor. Whatever, if it's a full video, if it is an intro, outro,
Mm.
whatever it is, I
Mm.
am for hire. I'm really nice with the prices because, again, I always say this: there is a lot of idiots out there of
Mm,
editors who
yeah.
takes too much money for
Mhm.
stuff you can just do in 1 or 2 days. Too
Mhm.
much money for things you can do in 1 or 2 days.
Yeah.
So the thing that I'd like to do with the people who wants edited videos, that we can talk about the prices. Like
Mm,
what I always make the person who wants a video or an intro, I always
mm,
ask them, what do you feel about it? Like, do you feel you pay what you feel
mhm,
that's worth? Because I want to be nice that way. I am just nice that way. Because I
mm.
just want to provide the best thing that I can do for people. And we also own merch. We also
Ooh,
own merch.
nice.
So we do have two. If you go to our channel, we do have two merch channels where
Mhm,
we have hoodies, phone cases,
mhm,
cups. We have snapbacks. We have everything.
mhm.
Um, and I released one thing there. I'm not gonna say it because I want people to go there and be surprised what I released
Yeah.
there. I might have worked on something cool that people haven't known about.
Nice. Nice.
um,
Yeah. And yeah,
and
and oh, go sorry.
no, and before stop commercialing myself, as one thing I want to say to people out there,
Yeah.
because I always this is what my great grandmother always taught me. Because I
Mm,
want to say it's my company is really heavily based on my great grandmother.
mm,
That's why we have you see our logo, right?
mm.
Our logo is an hourglass with the two F's. We
Yeah.
made it into an hourglass, and that stands for my great grandmother always said to me when I was young, life's too
Mhm,
short, make the most of it. So
mm.
I always, before we end everything, the thing that I always say, just remember, life's too short. Make the most of it. And
Yeah.
we on this panel, we love you. We appreciate you all. We would
Mm,
not been here today if it wasn't for all of you great peeps out there. It means
mm.
the world to us. And thank you for all the inspiration you give us to continue doing what we love to do and
Mm.
provide you content that you enjoy. Thank you.
Nice. Yeah, that's that I dropped a 10 right there. But no, yeah, and of course his links are down below. I only got the YouTube and Twitter X one, but if there are any more, let me know and I'll try to add them later. Because I can't do it now, obviously. But for my side of things, right? And I know again I'm still on mobile until my PC gets fixed. Hopefully tomorrow I'll hear something back because I really do hope I'm hoping it's not going to cost me much to get it fixed, but I'm just hoping that I get it done so I can at least do the rest of the week for my desktop because I so miss my desktop. Um, but anyway, if you're watching, if you wouldn't mind leaving a like, sharing the content, or reposting because it's Rumble, leaving a comment or a follow, anything that helps with the engagement factor is much appreciated because not only does it help and being seen more like all creators want, but it also helps in having other people on as guests like Jacen and Malay K and so many other people. Some of them are not even creators at all. My thing is not about other content creators or whatever. It's about just talking to people across the table. And I've talked to a lot of non-creators, talked to a lot of creators. I've even talked to VTubers. So I've talked to a lot of different people from all over the world. So you're in
Yeah.
Norway. I've talked to people in Germany, the UK, Australia, Alaska. It's insane. Um,
Yeah.
but I
All you need now is North Korea, right?
that there no one's going to. I'll be in trouble if I do that.
Yeah, no, I
But
just joking, man.
no, I know. But anyway, the important thing is that any help with engagement is much appreciated. Of course, I have a link down below as well. If you want to see where else I'm at, you can go through that. And if you'd like to take up the opportunity to come on yourself, guess what? There's a comment section down there, or you can go to the link. Either way, I thank you all for being here because not only do I get to spend time with you, but I get to spend time with a awesome dude named Jacen. So thank you all for that very much.
Thank you
And
so
I
much,
wanted to
brother.
check that. Oh, thank you. Yeah. Yeah, obviously, there's a lot of times when I reach out to people, they're usually because the majority of my um, communication is through Twitter X. I've done email, I've done Discord, but majority of it, a chunk of it is through Twitter X. And sometimes I get someone
Yeah.
telling me I can't do it, but thank you for the invite, or I never get anything back at all.
Yeah.
Which is a sad thing, but it is what it is.
Yeah, but it's always about taking chances. That's the most important thing is taking
Yeah,
chances and
yeah.
do what you love.
Mhm. Taking chances and taking up opportunities because while people come on, I see it as an opportunity both ways because you tend to meet people you never thought you'd you would meet, right? You never thought you would meet some people here and there. Like I never thought I'd talk to somebody from Australia. All right, that was
I know
something impressive.
exactly.
And they're like a half a day ahead of me. So right now it's like their afternoon time. It's like,
Yeah, and I saw that you were gonna have Ironcaster on. Then that's an episode that I'm excited for.
Yeah, yeah, I've had
Yeah.
Ironcaster on before.
Oh, you
He's been on.
have?
Yeah, it's the second time
Nice. He's
coming
a good
on.
friend
Yeah.
of mine. A good friend of
Oh,
mine.
nice. Yeah, he was on towards the end of last year. I can't remember when because it has been that long. But no, yeah, he'll be coming on tomorrow, and hopefully again I do have my computer because I do want
Yeah.
I do miss using my
And I just
desktop.
want to
But
say that we do have a Rumble channel. I need to remember the password and other stuff on it.
yeah,
It's been so long since I've been on it. I have not updated new videos for it
yeah,
or been
and that's
live there for a
understandable.
while. So I
Yeah.
need to fix that. Thank you for reminding me on that. I need to get my ass in gear. But I work too much. I work all the time.
You do what you can, right? You do what you can. That's
Yeah.
that's all that's all that matters.
I need to hire more people to run certain websites for me.
Yeah, that costs money in itself. No, he already has that. Oh, I see what you're talking to. Yeah, no, he already has that. Um, but no, yeah, I streamed to both YouTube and Rumble. It's just the Rumble Studio app I'm using wasn't allowing me to hook up to
Yeah,
YouTube. So hopefully that'll get fixed. But yeah, I usually stream to both Rumble and YouTube, and that's pretty much as far as I go because there's a mental capacity that I have because
yeah,
I do have a full-time job. So it's like this is what I can handle, and that's it. Like no more of that. Just I may add one more later on, but for right now, YouTube and Rumble is where it's at for me, and I stream to both those
yeah,
places because it's just it is what it is for what it is. But I enjoy it all the same. I enjoy getting to meet the people all the same. Some people are like trying to get water out of stone, but those are where the challenges lie, and challenges can make you a sharper instrument, if you will. Sort of like when you're going out camping and you have a spear, right?
yeah, exactly. And access and everything.
Yeah.
And since I'm a black metal guy, people always think that I burn churches. I can't. I
He's gonna burn a church. He's in a Dunkin' Donuts. I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, it's like an old friend of mine. He always joked about, I'm always sending you the Bible, man, but it always get burned up. I don't know what's happening. I don't know either, man. I don't know. We
Yeah,
joked
thanks,
about it all the
Hans.
time.
Yeah, thanks, Hans. Um, hey, there he is. Hey, Hans, how are you doing? Nice to see you again. Thank you for being here, and thank you for the raid, good sir. Thank you for the raid. Um, where was that? But yeah, I get that. I mean, it's sort of like back in the 90s, when like Mortal Kombat was under the radar for all the
Yeah, Mortal
violence and
Kombat.
stuff, or D&D or things like that. I think there's an over hyperventilation, whatever you want to call it, where people assume the worst without digging a little further in,
Yeah.
and you
Like,
still
we
get.
know we know why the rumors, like the jokes with burning churches came. It is because of Varg Vikernes,
Mm,
whose name he called himself Bursum at the time. He was
mm,
in Mayhem,
oh,
a great band. I love the guys in the band who that
mm,
are now.
mm,
But Bursum was not a great person in the band. Most people
mm.
hated him. He
Wow.
burned so many churches down in Norway to
What?
to promote his album. He
Oh
also
man.
when he got arrested, they also found a bomb.
What?
Yeah, he was gonna and not just that, one of the creator of the band who's dead, Euronymous, called
Mm,
Øystein, also he was not the greatest person in his head either. Um, he wanted to kill Varg and make a snuff film out of him.
what?
'Cause there was a big fight between them because a lot of issues with money and other
Yeah.
stuff, yeah,
Yeah.
and the thing with both of them, they are had an arrogance and ego,
Mm,
but so when Varg heard about that Euronymous wanted to kill him, the thing is that, Varg traveled from Bergen to Oslo because he was
mm.
gonna, sign off with the band, like, kind
Right.
of with all that, but What he did, he decided to kill Euronymous, stabbed him multiple times. He fell down the stairs and stabbed, stabbed, stabbed. Yeah. So and Varg still lives, by the way. He lives in
That's good.
France, I still think.
That's
No, but
good.
Varg. Yeah, it's not. Varg is the crazy one. He's not allowed to own anything. He's barely
Wow.
allowed to come back to Norway after killing and burning down churches.
Ah.
And he makes tabletop games. He's a really big Yahtzee. I
Oh.
do. A lot of us follow him on X because he posts the most stupidest things. That is just so
Wow.
fun. Because the funny thing that happened is Kanye West is a big fan, and
Wow.
this is kind of funny. Varg Vikernes hates black people, and Kanye West loves him.
Oh
He
yeah,
has used
Kanye. Oh goodness.
yeah, so Kanye has used music from Bursum, Varg into his music, but
Uh
not just that. This is a fun incident. There was a picture that came out, while Kanye West was wearing a Varg Vikernes a sweater or T-shirts, and Varg it got posted, and Varg saw it. So someone commented to Varg,
uh.
Do you like black people now?" And he just comments, "Nope." Just easy, nope.
Wow.
Yeah, he's
That's
crazy. So he's a meme. He's a big meme. That's what he is now. He's
yeah. No, it's funny because that was, I mean, like, with Kanye, I mean, he did that whole thing with Alex Jones and all that. But I mean, he was doing a lot of. Did you see that recent thing where they're at the Grammys and he was with his like,
oh
yeah.
god, yeah, yeah. It's like
I
I
was,
will say this, Kanye, sometimes he can make sense on
yeah,
certain parts, but sometimes he's on another planet. And when he wanted to run for president, and he created like this logo thing that looks like Yahtzee stuff. And then he talked about how he likes the Yahtzees basically, and I'm just like, bro, they don't like you, man. They
they would clean him out.
yeah.
Um, but I mean, the funny thing was is for me with going back to that Grammy thing is like his. I don't know if he's if she is his wife or fiance or whatever. But I was like, she just went full commando at that point. I'm like, she
God
doesn't
damn it, man.
she doesn't have shame or I don't know what it is.
Yeah, no, that was just a big what the fuck in my head, man. That's when I saw that, I'm just really we are there now. It's not surprising the world we're living in right now, you know?
uh,
It's not surprising, but yeah, it's like, oh God, even Lady Gaga came out and said some stupid things on stage too.
yeah,
It was
she's a good singer and a musician, but after that, I think everything else is pretty moot point.
yeah, no, it's like she was gonna bring in the whole, put in, all the LGBTQ plus thing, and it's like, come on, stop it, just stop it. Now it's like, yes, I am a bisexual man. Yes.
uh,
I don't make it my fucking personality. I barely fucking talk about my sexuality because I don't fucking care about it. It's
right,
just who I am.
right,
And again, I don't want kids to see trans stuff. I don't want them to be promoted to kids. I
yeah,
want kids to be kids. Let them be kids, and when they are like 18, they can decide themselves if they want to do something with themselves.
right,
But again, it's kids. You're gonna leave kids alone. Don't push
mm,
this agenda on others,
yeah,
and it harms the LGBT community. And I even agree what Trump did with removing the T, because T is not a gender. Trans is not a gender
mm,
at all. It's just you want to be the other gender, but you cannot be it. But you that's what we call it, transsexual. That's the real term.
yeah,
And I have friends. One of my best friends, she's a transsexual woman, and
mm.
she's a Trump supporter and all that kind of stuff. She's like the Blair White in Norway right
Oh
now.
wow,
Yeah, yeah. But she gets attacked by these leftist woke people,
mm,
hardcore.
yeah,
Because how can you be trans when you support Trump? It's like, but it's so stupid how they
yeah,
attack her. But no, he even, she's saying it, other people saying that we know that we are biologically what we're born. It's like we will go to the original bathroom that we're biologically born.
mm,
If the women are not comfortable, she said, I'm going to go to the men's bathroom if
uh,
the women are not. So that's a good thing, that
yeah,
real trans people who understands the biology and doesn't
uh,
push this on others, and just do it for yourself, your own
yeah.
life. And I'm
Yeah,
sick of it too. I'm really sick of it.
yeah, bringing that up there. But I mean, so because you did talk about the beginning, but I mean, so what have you so far? What have you thought of the Trump being president so far?
I think it's fucking great.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, I don't. Well, I don't know how what it plays for Norway because I mean, Norway is situated between what Sweden and over on that.
Norway is America's bitches. That's what we are known as. A lot of
I've
stuff that
never heard it put
yeah,
that way before.
yeah. A lot of things that happens in America affects Norway.
Okay.
Yes, it's been that for many years. Even though Norway has its a lot of problems too, I can tell you this: our prime minister, hope this year we know he's gonna be known to be the worst prime minister we have ever had in a long time.
Wow.
Yeah, for the
That's.
first thing, he invited Taliban to Norway to talk about women rights and other stuff. Yeah, yeah. You know what? You know what he did? He used the Norwegian tax money to give them private plane to Norway.
Oh my god! Oh my gosh!
And not just that, he even talked about trying to get Hamas to Norway to talk with them.
Oh, that's. You know what that is? That's a cold. That's a cold slap in the face right there.
Yes.
Hey, thanks, Dab Killer. Hope you're doing well. Have a good one
But
too, good
but
sir.
no, so that's our prime minister. He also gets mad in interviews and just leave. Um, Everything got more expensive in Norway. We have beaten the Americans with one thing: our
Mm.
gas is a lot more expensive than yours.
Well, and you also go by
Mm.
metric too, so that's sort of. I mean, we don't. Or
Yes,
no, sorry. Yeah, metric. I think that yeah, because we go by imperial. That's the measurement. That's Fahrenheit and all that stuff. We go by imperial.
yeah,
The rest of the world goes by metric.
yeah. So I say this right now, like I've said for a long time. I want Norway to start doing what America is doing right now after Trump became president. President
Mm,
finally. It's
mm,
like I wish I had American citizenship so I could vote myself on Trump because I
mm,
am a MAGA guy. You know, I
yeah,
am a Trump supporter. I've been a Trump supporter basically since I was a young kid. He's
yeah.
one of my biggest inspirations. He's one of the reasons came in what I started caring about business and learning about business.
Mm.
Um,
You,
and
you have a question right there for you. Is it because of taxes?
oh, the taxes here are horrible. Oof.
Jeez.
Yeah, it's horrible. A lot of things in Norway is horrible. You know what I like now that the schools are being forced to remove LGBTQ plus flags,
Mm,
only two genders, all this kind of stuff that I really agree with, and I love
mm,
this woke agenda is
mm,
getting removed um, more and more. And I
mm.
want that to happen to Norway because Norway has always been a diverse country. We've always
Yeah.
been diverse, but we have been a natural diverse, not in a bad way,
Mm,
but because of the woke times, Norway changed so much.
mm,
Now everybody's offended about everything here too.
mm.
And before Norway, we have super dark humor. Like we have the super dark humor. That's our thing,
Wow.
and we could joke about everything. It's
Mm,
like whites could joke about blacks, blacks could joke about Asian and whites. Like we could joke about everything.
mm,
That's how I grew up. That's how Norway used to be, and they didn't care about anything. But
mm,
now everything here also is going to be offensive, and it's Norway became one of the wokest countries ever, and that's just the facts.
mm.
Even we have so many illegal aliens, as I like to call
Mm.
them too here.
Right.
It's like where I live. Of course, I'm not going to say where I live in
Right.
Norway,
Right. Yeah.
but
Yeah. Yeah.
where I live in Norway,
Mm.
I live in a mini ghetto. Basically, I live in the
Ah.
ghetto in my town. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
and
Yep.
my place in Norway is known for wannabe gangsters, drugs, stabbings, and all that kind of stuff. And it happens more and more in Norway now for in the
Mm-hmm.
last couple of years.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, it's and the bad politicians and
Mm-hmm.
so I am gonna vote this year at least on the better people.
Mm-hmm.
I used to vote for FRP, but after what the leader of FRP said, I was like, nope.
Yeah.
She had got asked the stupidest question. If you were an American, who would you vote for? They asked her, and she's a
Mm-hmm.
politician. She should just shut up, right?
Yeah.
No, no, she answered.
Oh
Stupid enough.
goodness.
And they have some controversy on them and all that kind of stuff. So she tried to
Mm.
like make up for that and be weak, as I like to call it, and say, no,
Mm.
I would have voted for Joe Biden because we know where he is, he's good, yada yada. And I'm just like, know where he is. He barely knows where he is. And you think he is the best choice in that kind of view. And after that,
Yeah.
I'm like, no, I'm not going to vote for you guys this time. I am more of a conservative person.
Mm.
So it's going to be conservative this year for the first time. I
Yeah.
don't agree with everything the Norwegian conservative has to say.
Yeah.
And I know it's not going to be cheaper either way in Norway.
Mm.
Because we have this stupid thing with politicians. Like, even no matter who basically wins, the
Mm.
other parties of politicians will still work together.
Mm.
They will still work together, and we still
Yeah.
have a king who doesn't do anything.
Wow.
Yeah, he's just the face of Norway. That's it.
Well, it's a weird thing. I mean, it's the same way with Japan. Like their emperor is just a face. I mean, the king of England is nothing more than a face. Any king or queen that's considered a king or queen nowadays is they're nothing more face other than for prime ministers the real power, right there. And it's kind of silly to have such things that don't really make much sense anymore because I mean it's understandable of like you could still trace like of course the king King Charles, Queen Elizabeth and all that stuff, but at the end of the day they're really just figureheads of a
Yeah.
legacy monarchy.
And I like that
um
comment there. It seems like Trump trying to prepare add new states for, yes, exactly. And with that, even though I'm a proud Norwegian, I want Norway to be Norway. But
mhm.
we are the thing with us that we are kind of part of the EU, but we're not part of the EU. This is the craziest thing about Norway. We're
Interesting.
actually we are not really part of EU,
Mhm.
but we're still in a way part with EU because we still follow a lot of EU rules.
Mhm.
We let the EU and the other deals with that kind of stuff. We let them get money, take our
Mhm.
money, and other stuff.
Right.
They're one some of the reasons why it becomes more expensive in Norway too.
Right.
There's just so many things, and so I do agree with the Conservative Party that we want out of the whole deal. We want to just be Norway. But
Mhm.
if I had to choose with the EU or become a state with America, I would just be like, I would choose America over the EU deal thing. Easy.
Well, that brings up what do you think about the whole Greenland stuff because that could be a
Oh,
possibility.
a lot of Greenlanders want it.
Because
Yeah, a lot of
there's
Greenlanders hate Denmark.
wow. Where's
Yeah,
where's where is Denmark compared to where Norway's at? Because yeah, I should know where my I should know where my geography is, but I can't pull up a map. So
yeah, it is one of our neighbors, of course.
okay,
Yeah, and yeah, we don't really hear much about Denmark because it's Denmark. It's people you don't understand what they're saying. We don't
the
under.
Danish, yeah,
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 it's like one of my co-hosts, Prismatics, also my real life best friend who also lives in Norway.
yeah.
He has lived in Denmark and studied in Denmark.
Mm-hmm.
So I always say to him that he likes, big black Danish dicks, um, because that's what the Danish people sound like. They sound like they have a big dick in their mouth. You can't understand what they say. It's like
Jeez.
I understand Swedish more, and Sweden is not even better.
Why are
And
you talking with your mouth full? Oh,
yeah,
oh,
yeah,
oh.
exactly. We don't understand shit what they say. It's like I've had Danish friends, and I always hear this, Jason, you're so racist against Danish people.
Mhm.
And I'm like, I have Danish friends. Don't worry. As long as they speak English, I understand. I don't
Yeah.
want to listen to them, choking on a dick. But
That's what you should say, Danish, the old dick jokers.
yes. But I've been listening to a lot of Greenlanders. It's like I
Mm,
know the government is a little bit up and down on it, and some
yeah.
people claim that Greenlanders doesn't want to be part of it.
Mm,
But there's so many Greenlanders. I've been listening to a lot of people from Greenland talk about this on TikTok and YouTube and other places,
uh,
and they are just like, we want Trump to take over. We want Trump to get part of the Greenland.
mm,
It's better business for them and all that kind of stuff. A lot of resources for both parts.
yeah.
And they really hate Denmark, many of them, because they said straight out that Denmark has destroyed their country, like their place. Denmark has destroyed it for them.
Yeah, well, and the fact and the thing is, they haven't really done much for Greenland either. Not like protection or anything. I don't think.
Oh, a lot of Greenlanders don't like Denmark for many reasons, and
Jeez.
so I just say, just do it, Greenland, just do it. You'll get a lot more out of it.
Yeah, well, and also that would make a great way of not having to use have to have a passport because you're just going from one part of America to another. So,
Yeah, exactly. No, exactly. So no,
mm,
I think it's a good idea and good business for Greenland and America with resources and everything. If it comes to war, other stuff, a lot of resources down there.
yeah,
So it is good.
yeah. No, and that's understandable too. Live search that Denmark hasn't provided the opportunities that USA. Yeah, I could see that because again, I think I probably you've probably
But
seen it
what
as
do you
well.
expect for of a country that sucks too much dick? What do you expect them to do? They're too
That
busy.
no, just whenever someone goes to visit Denmark, right? They have the tagline or whatever. They just say Denmark, the old dick sucker.
Yeah, exactly. But
I could just,
Sweden is not bad
I
either.
could.
Like Sweden is in a lot of debt, a
Oh
lot of debt,
wow.
because they have been taking in illegal aliens for so many years that they have lost
Oh
so
yep.
much
Mm-hmm.
money.
Yep.
And the only good thing with Sweden, even though I do like Sweden to a certain point,
Uh.
I'm a proud Norwegian. I do like Norway. Just get rid of the bad politicians. I'm happy and make
Mm,
Norway great again.
yeah.
I actually I need to make merch of that. I need to go to Pride and wear that and have
Mm,
only two genders, just piss off people.
yeah. MNGA right there. Make Norway great again. There you go.
Mm,
Oh.
exactly.
But yeah, and it'll be interesting if because I mean, again, to get Greenland, that would take Congress, which who knows how that'll be. But if it does happen, or at least there becomes like an economic deal right between them. I mean,
um,
if they can,
it
I think the biggest thing that the Greenlanders want is to get away from Denmark. I think that's the biggest
Yeah,
thing they
so
want.
yeah, that's so many of them. They're so tired of Denmark's bullshit because the politicians there and how they
Mm,
run and how they've fucked them over, basically, as they
mm,
say. I don't
yeah,
know all the details what they have done, of course, because I'm not Danish
yeah,
and Greenlander, but
mm,
I am, of course, I'm gonna research a lot more what Denmark have done to it
yeah,
because I really want to know.
yeah,
Because there's so many that hates, I mean, the Greenlanders that hate Denmark, so I'm like
mm,
curious what they really have done, with a lot of stuff. But yeah, Norway, I just want Norway to be great again.
yeah.
It's such a woke place. It's so annoying. One little thing. It's like, yeah, this is an actually true fact that happened. It was a woman, a lesbian woman, actually,
Oh,
who is against a lot of the LGBTQ plus things.
wow.
And because she had her own opinion, she came out and talked about it and all that. It got taken as a hate crime, and she could serve up to 3 years in prison for it.
Mm.
That's how sensitive
Wow.
Norway is.
Jeez. Well,
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, it's not. I mean, it's not too far off from what happened with the United States a while back, is you had a lot of people who were destroying things, right? The whole BLM stuff. But then you had
Yeah.
people who were trying to speak freely about things, and they got taken into prison for stuff. So it's not to say that the U.S. is without its own thing. It's just
I
you.
only support one person who did a in the Black Lives Matter movement thing because I
Mm,
saw a video and picture of it. He stole
mm.
Star Wars Lego. That's the
He,
only
he
thing.
well, he was looking for the good stuff, and he found it in his
Yeah.
Legos.
He didn't want to do the violence. He just wanted to get a Star Wars Lego and get home.
Yeah,
Only only I can support Star Wars Lego. It's fine.
and in today's news, we see a someone stealing. Sir, are you just stealing Legos? Look, man, this stuff is too expensive. Have you seen that star?
Yeah.
That star's costing $200. I ain't paying that.
Yeah, exactly. But no,
Eco bug.
it is crazy how the world is so wokeified, we can say.
Mm,
And again too, when he became president again, there's something people forget. Like America has a lot of power, and it can help to change a lot of the world.
yeah.
That is the thing with America. So that's why I say we need a great leader in America that can help to change a lot of other places like Norway and other places and try to
Mm,
do something. And again, less wars. That's
mm,
important because goddamn, we had so many because
yeah.
of the Joe Biden stuff.
Mm,
It is really sad, and I've talked about this, and I'm really open because I've said it straight out. If you are a terrorist supporters. Like, I don't like Hamas. I'm really honest
Mm.
about that.
Right.
Um, and rightfully so. You shouldn't support terrorists.
Yeah.
But I've had friends who unfortunately have been killed in terrorism, and I'm really open about this. I've talked about this
Mm.
before. We
Mm.
had in Norway we had a terrorist attack in 2011
Mm.
where we had Utøya with Anders Breivik,
Mm.
who's in prison, of course, and Norway is fucking idiots for what they're
Mm.
doing. He lives his best life. He can work, he can write, he can play games, he can do whatever the f he wants.
Mm.
It's like hotel for him.
Yeah. No, that's understandable, Dash. Obviously.
Yeah.
Um.
So
But oh, go ahead.
so
Sorry.
no, so that happened at that time, really fucking heartbreaking.
Mm.
And some years ago,
Mm.
it was on the news. It was two girls who studied. One of them were Danish. Again, I don't hate all Danish people, okay? Uh, um, but she was a good. She was dating one of my friends. They were a
Okay.
couple.
Mm.
And those two girls, if I don't know if you heard about the Marorco situation that happened with the two girls getting beheaded and killed.
Well, I don't remember. If it involved like the ISIS or whatever, I think, but it's
Kinda in a
been.
way, in
Yeah.
it was some stuff with that, but, they were traveling down there. Unfortunately, they got killed by, of course, terrorists. Unfortunately, I saw the video because news. It popped up, because of news. I remember the day really well. I broke down and everything, and yeah, and my friend who was dating her, he did not want to go on Facebook because the thing that those people did was sending videos and films to the closest people on their friend group, because the people went on the girls' Facebooks releasing
Mm.
pictures and everything,
Yeah.
and the people closest in the messenger part of the
Mhm.
Facebook on the phone got sent videos and messages, pictures. So I did one thing, that was I told him, "Let me go on your Facebook and I will delete what you have been sent."
Yeah.
Because we understood that he was one of the close ones, and
Yeah.
we had a feeling that he had probably gotten something, and he did. So
Ugh.
I took the responsibility, and I saw the things I saw there is something I will never talk about because it's too
Right.
hurtful.
Yeah. Right.
But I went in there and I deleted everything so he could go
That's
back,
good.
because he would have been heartbroken because he loved her. Um,
Yeah. And this
and
was it. May I ask, was it something that both of them chose to do, just to go down there, or was it sort of like something else?
no, they traveled the world. That was their thing.
Okay.
They wanted to
Okay.
travel.
Okay.
Yeah, they lived for traveling. That's what
Right.
they wanted to,
Mm.
and they did
Jeez.
that. And also, some other years ago, a childhood friend of mine got
Right.
killed by a murder.
Ah.
So that's why I'm really vocal about how I feel about, for example, terrorists and stuff like that. And I
Yeah.
said this straight out, and I say this in real life too. Is the person I am on stream is the person I am in real life.
Right.
And I say this all the time. If you support any terrorist groups,
Mhm.
and you are, and I know you are supporting them, or if you tell me, just get away from me. I
Right.
don't want to lose my cool. That's what I'm
Yeah.
gonna say. I don't want to lose my cool on it.
Mm.
Because my anger, and I know how a lot of the parents and other people feel because I went
Yeah.
through the same thing.
Right.
So yeah,
Yeah.
I'm always honest about that, but
Yeah.
it was really, so I will give Danish police one credit. One
Right.
credit I will give the Danish police. They tried their best to find all the videos online and remove it, even though some
Yeah.
places we still have it, but they
Yeah.
tried to go in the deepest length to remove it all. So I'm gonna give it that. So that's
Yeah.
also, why I hate our prime minister. Like that he wants to like invite terrorists to Norway to talk
Jeez.
about women rights and other stuff. I'm just like, do you really think they care about women rights?
Yeah.
Really?
Yep.
Like, for example, you think Taliban care about women?
Yeah.
Have you seen how the country is down there? It's like
Yeah.
not all people down there is terrible, but
Right.
it's under the rule of Taliban. Of course, it's
Yeah.
gonna. You're not. The women has to hide. Men are
Mm.
not allowed to. If you visit, you have to be really careful what you do.
Yeah, yeah, definitely.
um,
It's more of I get in equal sense, just a death trap. It's basically a death trap.
yeah.
To do that.
So our prime minister, yes, we think that's a good idea because one thing our prime minister has in his head, we want to be better than America. We want to be better than this. Yada yada. I'm like, dude, we are one of the most diverse countries. One of them,
Mm,
with of course America is also real diverse, but Norway also is one of the one of the big diverse countries.
yeah.
And we take in a lot of uh, aliens, some of the bad ones, and then we
Yeah.
have the good people who are not aliens.
Mm,
But we have a lot of people who are traveling away from war and
yeah.
want to live a good life and all
Yeah.
that. And a lot of these people who has been living, under the Taliban and other people.
Mm,
Um, you're inviting the people that kind of kill their families, man. How do you think that's a good idea to
no.
invite them when we have a lot of these people here who doesn't want they lost their families because of them? It's
Yeah. It's a back. It's pretty much backhanding them. You take your backhand, just smacking them across the face and saying, "Guess what? Too bad."
yeah,
And that not only does that suck, it also says you don't really care about your constituents.
yeah,
Which probably sounds like what your prime minister is anyway. He just doesn't care.
yeah,
I mean, the biggest thing I don't think a majority of Europe has is the ability to defend themselves, basically, right? Like, you could say the First Amendment and Second Amendment that America has, but even then, we
yeah.
still have our troubles with it. But even in the rest of the world, you guys don't really have something of similar value.
Oh,
It's mostly,
no, it's like in Norway we have stupid rules with defending yourself is stupid
mm,
here in Norway.
yeah,
One, you are not allowed to own firearm to defend your place. You are not allowed to have
mm,
that. Something that I think we should be allowed to do because it's a lot of violence in Norway, especially the big places where I live and other places like also Oslo.
mm,
Like for F's sake, we had a shooting on a pub called London,
mm,
and that's a gay pub. And that guy was basically a Muslim guy who had
uh,
extreme Muslim. I don't hate Muslims, but he was extreme Muslim guy who went
mm,
really far. He was extremist.
yeah,
I have a lot of friends who are Muslim who are great people, but he was just an extremist. Everything extreme is bad.
yeah,
Even with extreme Norse Pagans, I hate them because they are terrible people.
mm,
But when it goes extreme, and the news in Norway was so stupid by saying he was a Republican, and I'm just like,
mm,
we don't have Republic people in Norway.
yeah.
It's not America, bro.
Yeah, yeah, it's definitely Kismet.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's
and the
definitely
police
not
knew
American.
about this guy before. They've known him for a long time. He's been in and out, and also in psych ward stuff. It's like,
Yeah.
why is he not locked in? Oh, because Norway is really stupid with the rules. We can say it like this: a child diddler gets
Yeah.
less time in prison in Norway than someone who smokes weed.
Wow,
Welcome to
that's
Norway. Welcome to Norway.
well,
So if you
I will say there are some parts of America that has happened too, so I'm not going to discount us because
Yeah,
it has happened
no,
in
of course.
America. Yeah.
And not just that, it's if you defend yourself in Norway, we say just with your fists,
Mm,
we say you accidentally hurt a person because you defend yourself.
yeah.
Or if the police or people see you hit him back, you can get jail time yourself for defending yourself.
Jeez, Al.
Yes, the rules here are so stupid. It's just like we need to be allowed to defend ourselves. It's a
Yeah.
human right to defend ourselves.
Yeah.
So that's why I want the conservative to actually win the election,
Mm,
because at least they talk about trying to fix it. They actually followed more of the Trump code, and they
mm,
agree with the Trump code, but the
mm,
problem, they're not gonna win. They're not gonna win.
mm.
FRP might win, and they might change some stuff, but they try not to be canceled these days.
Yeah. Yeah. I think at a certain point there are a lot of different countries like yourself who have to start learning how to win, right? For the people who want to
Yeah.
make actual change to better their country, people have to know how to start knowing how to win.
Mhm.
And um and the truth of the matter is not many people do. And while you may want Trump to kind of change the whole world, he's gonna focus on America first. I mean, you saw that
Of
with
course. Yeah,
the
yeah, of
border,
course.
you already saw what happened with
Yeah, that's a good thing, you know.
yeah
It's
you're
like I say, if you're gonna come into a country, you are gonna do it the legal way.
yeah.
Even if it takes time, even if you get denied, wait and try again. Don't give up.
Mm.
It's easy. That's the way of life. Life it's not gonna be easy.
Yeah, well, yeah, and that too, and don't forget the deals, the two leaders of Canada and Mexico, where they just kind of
Yeah.
just they they they
Yes.
they folded flat pretty quick, it seemed.
Yeah. We became really politics here now.
Well, I can. It's part of the conversation. That's okay. I'm
Yeah.
just not all full center, that kind of stuff, because it can lead a way or another. It's just
Yeah.
with the talk of Greenland. I think Canada too, but I think the talk of Greenland, which is its own. I'm not gonna say island. It could be a continent, but it's too small for that. Um,
Yeah,
also
no.
fictional country.
It's
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
interesting.
and that's understandable as well. Dash.
Yeah.
Every country should be taking up the opportunity to either take examples that Trump gives or something, to
Yeah.
whatever. Yeah, the Daniel Penny thing as well. Yeah, definitely that's a stain on some
Yeah.
justice. But
Yeah. But
at the
no,
end
it
of
it it
oh god.
is what it is, but we have to one thing I would say we have to talk about sometimes. It is important sometimes
Mm,
because what do we want from the world? We want the world to be great. We
mm,
want to coexist with people. We want to be safe.
mm,
And we want to do the best. Life is too short. That's why we have to try to stand together with everyone and trying to
mhm.
live. But we need
Yeah,
to follow certain rules, and that's just how it is.
yeah. It's yeah, and that's where focusing on home, like I would think, well, focusing on your home, like we trying to focus on ours with this, I think is where a great place people can start, because
Yeah,
I don't know the politics of Norway. I don't know what it runs basis on, or whether it has its own constitution or something like that. But
it's
I
just
do,
stupid,
yeah, it will
unfortunately.
basically that. But I think the most important part that people need to take away from, especially for just Norwegians, is that if you want the country that you see, say American has, whatever, then you have to be willing to fight
Yeah,
for it, because otherwise, like you were saying earlier about the people coming up from
yeah,
Iran or whatever,
yeah,
it'll keep happening because people just let that power keep coming. And it's nothing
yeah,
speaking against that aren't people like yourself who want that change. It's just the voices are so small, and you get tossed to the
yeah.
side, and they can jail you just for trying to speak up about it, right? I mean, I'm pretty sure
Yes,
there's
that's how it is, and but no, that's why I choose that. I will fight for the right. I want Norway to be great.
mm,
I want us, I don't say we're gonna be. I don't say we're gonna remove, immigrants or anything,
mm,
but I want the people that comes to Norway at least respect our country.
yeah,
Come on, just respect our country. You're coming here to live here, to be here.
mm,
Don't take your war and other stuff,
yeah,
here. It's like when I've been to the pub, I met a guy who was weird as fuck. And then he tells me, "Oh, have you seen dead people? Like I've been in war, I've seen people get shot." And I'm like, Why are you telling me this?
yeah,
Well, why? What's the importance of this conversation? I'm just standing here smoking and drinking a beer. Like, well,
yeah,
but that's so important to these people apparently to talk about what they do and oh, we've seen this, and it's like nobody messes with us. Like, just if
okay,
you're gonna be that person,
mm,
go home then. If you miss it so much,
yeah,
if you miss the war, go home.
yeah,
I I have a lot of friends who are immigrants, and they're great people. They just want to live a normal life like a Norwegian and respect the country. Like if I move to America, if I move to Korea, if I move to Japan,
yeah,
I need to respect the country and the rules in those
yeah,
countries.
mm,
For example, I have a lot of tattoos. I've tattooed my face. I've tattooed my whole, I'm my face, my arms, everything.
yeah,
So I know there are certain places I'm not allowed to be in because of
yeah,
tattoos, and I
yeah,
just have to respect it. If there's a place I really want to go into, I'm not allowed. Okay,
yeah,
then I'm gonna respect it. And of course, I need to respect and learn the languages.
yeah. Yeah, and
Um,
this is I don't know. This is a legit question from Dash, but he's asking what kind of government does Norway have? Because even I don't know the answer to that. So I don't know
As
if
a
you.
Norwegian, the government here, mentally challenged, stupid assholes who
Mm,
doesn't understand how to defend themselves or help Norwegian people or people in general.
mm,
The rules are even. I thought most Norwegians doesn't even know the rules anymore. We don't know what the hell they're doing anymore.
jeez.
Okay, this is a fun thing that did happen. It's
Mm,
there was a guy who was doing violence outside. He didn't have a gun or anything. He had a knife.
right.
And police has stun guns, right?
Yeah, yeah.
They didn't use the goddamn stun gun because the police didn't know how to use it. You know what they did? They took the car and drove over him.
Jeez.
I'm just like, what is that, dude? You have a stun gun. You're not gonna kill the person. You're gonna stun him and take him to jail.
Yeah. No,
You're gonna take the
that's
guy. No, no, no. We're gonna drive over him, and I'm just like, what is happening to the police and the government in Norway? What is going on?
there.
Like, really?
There's sort of like there's sort of like a line without the teeth. They look good, but they're really the teeth and the claws. Once those are removed, the line is pretty much useless. Um, what does live search says? Uh, oh, oh, okay, yep.
Yeah,
Uh,
that is true.
why did it go extend?
Mm.
My it went weird for a second because now I can't. There goes the app for that. Technical difficulties. Technical difficulties. I'm gonna be.
Amazing.
I'm.
Professional streamers, everybody. We are
Yeah.
professionals.
Yep. I am professional. Well, it's sort of one of those things where it's like, okay, there we go. There we go. Unpin me, please. Unpin. Oh gosh. I gotta get the pin down. Sorry, I know. Sorry, I tried to no, don't do that. I can't oh gosh, I'm turning it this way, don't I? Nope, nope, not gonna help. Not gonna help. I can't once I pin that thing, it went long ways, so I can't unpin it.
Oh, man.
I can't, yeah, I can't unpin it. I don't know why. So like you see right up my nose. I don't want to do that. I apologize. Yeah, it won't let me get out of that. So this is gonna be fun to just end the show like this. Um
But
oh
yeah.
come on.
Well, we need
Uh,
some comedy in our life. We were so serious talking about politics and other stuff.
Oh, here we go. Okay, I got it. Man,
Oh, there we go.
I had to pin another comment that wasn't so long. Good Lord, I'm not doing that again. If I broke it, you're welcome. Yeah, live search. Thanks a
Yeah.
lot. Thanks a lot, live search. Oh, I almost broke that. That was my fault. That was
And we're
almost
not even
dropped.
been drinking on this show, people.
I almost dropped my I need my computer back. I need my desktop back ASAP.
Yeah. You just need to call the people and be like, "I need it now. I need it
Yeah.
now."
Well, and like I was telling you earlier, I called them today and like, oh, we're looking at it right now. We'll let you know in a couple hours. Well, I guess I'll find out tomorrow because a couple hours have gone already. So there's that. But yeah, I
But
I
yeah, Live Search is
apologize.
on point of the stuff that he said about what really, really Norway should, with their response. Yeah, with all that kind
Mm,
of stuff, with the government stuff. But the thing is that our government is just we don't know what they are anymore and what they're doing.
mm,
Of course, there are great people too in the
mm,
government. We know that, but it is the people that runs it, and everything that's been going on. It's like, for
mm.
fuck's sake, again, you have police officers who can't use a stun gun for whatever
Yeah,
reason. I wonder what they learn in school.
not a stun
Uh,
gun. Not how to use a
no,
stun gun. That's for sure.
yeah, no, they learn they played GTA.
Well,
Drive
hey,
over
you know
people.
what? that's how they learned how to run somebody over. Is they did that whole prostitute thing, and they told her to get out, got the money, and then they just ran her over.
Yeah, it is the same thing that a lot of certain police people, like, places in Norway have TikTok, and I spend more time on TikTok sometimes. They even have a game. Some
Oh,
of them even have a gaming channel on Twitch.
oh my gosh. Oh my,
Yeah.
you might as well shut down all your police and just leave it at that. Holy
Yeah,
crap.
it is. I remember when I saw it as, like, police gaming, and I'm just like, "Why the F are you sitting there gaming? You're supposed to work as a police officer."
Oh my gosh. I am not.
But
I am
yeah,
not bringing that up. Live search. You ruined me once. I'm not going to. But in it, he
yeah.
says,
All I'm gonna say, Jonas Gahr Støre, you can go and fuck yourself so fucking much, you piece of
"Wow,
fucking shit. You are the
wow,
worst prime minister we have ever had, and
mm.
you made Norway to a fucking shithole. So sorry, I know this is gonna go on YouTube too, so I'm sorry for going so rant
Nah,
on it,
you're fine. You're fine."
but yeah,
That's how you say the name. Johannes
Jonas,
Gar, Jonas.
Jonas Gahr Støre.
Look, I'm gonna apologize right up front. I am gonna ruin that so bad.
No,
So I'm
you
gonna.
don't. This is fine. You can ruin his name because we hate him.
Okay. Slap a stick face. Prime Minister. That's what I'll call him. But no,
Yeah,
I get the sentiment. I get that. I mean, in America, we have our own politicians we don't like too. But at the end of the day, change comes from within, and just like how Germany invaded itself and destroyed itself during World War II.
yeah,
The thing that can happen in the opposite effect to better a country can happen too. It's just
yeah,
what the people are willing to do, and if they're willing to, because I mean, I'm not gonna lie to you. There will come a time where people of Norway or whatever country will have to lay down a life for their own country to see it get better. Otherwise, it just
yeah,
what are you gonna do? You're just gonna keep under the thumb of whatever government is there. I mean, I know that
yeah.
wouldn't be the case. So,
No,
but
and yeah, the Labor Party and all that.
mm,
That is basically it's a woke party, and all about money, all about wokeifying, all about being a stupid idiot.
mm, yeah,
And no, we no, it's like I said, he is counted as one of the worst prime ministers, and that's crazy. He's gonna be
jeez.
remembered as the worst one.
So I just call him a turd prime minister. That'll work.
Yeah, it's like that
Just put it.
a lot of people that did vote for his party and stuff, they hate him
uh,
now.
Wow. I just look at yeah, North Korea too, but
Yeah,
that's more familial nepotism because Kim Jong Il, Kim Jong Un, all that stuff. But anyway, it is almost the
yeah, of
top of the hour
course.
again, and of course we're gonna end the show kind of there. There's a few things we're gonna do first, but I just we're gonna end the show there because I do have to get tomorrow's
Yeah,
show set up, and I do have to go to bed soon for work, so.
yeah,
So
I
I
should
mean,
go to
it's
bed
probably
too. It's late, so
yeah. You're what, like 5-6 hours ahead of me, aren't you?
yeah, it's like almost 3 at night.
Oh dear Lord, I am so sorry about that. But
I
anyway,
live in Norway. I'm used to it.
yeah. No, but thank you for coming on. I appreciate. Of course, I appreciate. Even again, even though there's still technical issues, of course, until I get my PC back, I appreciate you all coming.
No, dude,
Uh,
I loved being here. I thought this was a lot of fun.
oh yeah, thank you. You're always welcome to come
Uh,
back, obviously.
yeah,
But we,
man, I would love that. It's a lot of fun here. So people out there, please like, share, and subscribe to this guy. If you watch this on the later play, like
mm,
this guy is fucking amazing, and
I
I love
try. I will
talking to
try.
the guy. No, you're fucking amazing to talk to, bro. So
I'll
it,
take it.
it's it,
I'll take it.
it's like being at the pub with not drinking alcohol, but just being at the pub and talk with
Mm.
people
I
and
I
talk
make
about
the
whatever.
yeah, I make the because in America we'd have old diners, right? You'd probably see like Americana sort of diners thing. I could
Yeah,
sort of make it that representation, sort of like in one of those old diners, right, where you have like someone across the table and you're either drinking coffee or some beverage, and you kind of sit through, maybe eat a sandwich or something like that, but it's just sit down, no nothing is required of you sort of thing unless, like people being able to hear you. But that's pretty much it. It's not I mean, for me, I didn't see a lot of content creators do it because they usually talk about the topic of the day, which you do a little bit yourself, but you don't fully do that.
Yeah, that's
And
why we
and
have
it
2 shows.
yeah. I, and for me, it's sort of like I get why you talk about the news of the day and stuff. Like you want people to know about how Hollywood's messing with you, whatever. But at the end of the day,
Yeah.
it kind of gets tiring because it ends up being
Yeah,
the only thing they talk about.
I actually do agree. It can become tiring too. But for us, we burn for a lot of this kind of stuff.
Yeah, that's
And
understandable.
yeah, we grew up as geeks, so we kind of want to talk about it.
Yeah,
And but we do give credit to where credit is due. If
yeah,
Disney does something good, we will give them credit that actually
yeah.
this is what you should continue to do.
Mm,
Um, and uh, and sometimes we have interviews. I'm getting Chuck Dixon and Mike Barron back, of
mm,
course,
yeah,
the comic book legends, good
nice.
friends of ours. So we do a lot of different stuff,
Mm,
and a lot more shows are coming up this year.
yeah,
I have promised people that I will start trying to game on stream again. I
mm.
will try. I will try. But I'm busy. Okay,
I
I'm
will
busy.
try. um, but no, I enjoy. I mean, again, for me, this whole thing is just about the conversation across the way, and everything else beyond that is just a bonus to the total. Because again, I do have a full time job, and anything from this is just a bonus along the way. Because again, I didn't see a lot of content creators doing it. They
Yeah,
usually have.
but the thing that you do is also amazing because you're meeting so many people of all over
Mm,
the world. You learn new stuff,
mm,
and there's so much. And I really like what you're doing, and I'm happy
mm,
you do something different that nobody else does,
mm,
because you're helping other people out too, promoting what they do,
mm,
helping people out,
yeah.
and it's like it's not doing a normal podcast about topics or stuff like that. It's just we talk about whatever we learn about each other. Your audience that you have will learn about new people, and
Mm.
it's amazing, dude. So just keep it up. You are gonna. I love what you're doing, man. Just keep it up.
Yeah. The biggest thing is scheduling, but usually that's overcome with, you just try someone else, right? If you don't hear back from someone else within a certain time, you try someone else because there's too many people. There are too
Yeah,
many people to wait on one person for years on end for them to finally say, "Yes, I'll come on." I mean,
yeah, exactly.
you can keep coming back to them and asking them, "Would you like to come on?" But waiting for them to come on is like waiting for droplets of
Yeah,
water from a whatever. At the end of the day, there's too many people. Too many people, not enough time. Like you're saying, there's not enough time in the day. And so it's always better. And I don't only do like one person, I do weekdays and I only do one person a weekday. But at the end of the day, though, it is about having a
yep,
conversation across the table because at the end of the
yep.
day, why not? Well, no, I'm not live search. I can't bring it up because I know it's probably going to ruin it. But no, I will not be joining the creator program. I've never, the money thing has never been a thing for me. Because again, I do have a full time job, and for me, it doesn't make sense for me to join something that is whatever. It's for whoever wants to join it is fine, but for me, I just don't see any point to joining it. But anyway, guys, that is the end of the show. But what we're gonna do our promoting ourselves first, and then we'll kind of go into like who's coming on tomorrow, which you already said anyway. So we're still gonna do that. We're still gonna do that. But anyway, so go ahead and do your part of your re-show.
Yeah, I will rephrase stuff I said, of course.
Yeah.
But no, for me, this week, I will see if I'm able, if maybe I can be able to put up a live stream on Rumble because I see one of the guys there. He wants me to
Yeah,
have
Dash, I
this.
saw that. Yeah.
Yeah, he want me to have it on Rumble too. I will do work. I will see if I can find out the password again, and all that. But I will do that, and I'm
Mm,
using StreamYard, so I just need to do some things and make
yeah.
it connect with each other and be on
Yeah.
YouTube and Rumble. We'll try
Yeah.
that again. But this Thursday at least, we are gonna have the Beyond Show where we talk about, of course, some pop culture and what's in the news.
Mm.
So I need to get my ass in gear and find some stuff and work on that because I was here today, so I didn't have time.
Yeah, that's fine.
That's completely fine for me. And then let's see here. Yes, it's also Wednesday here right now, so
Mhm.
I might be with Kilted Kajun, Kilted, my other co-host. You should get him on the show. You should really get him on the show too.
I'll try looking up the name later.
I will
My
send
month
him.
of
I will
my
send
yeah
you the link to him. He's
yeah
one of
yeah
my co-hosts, fantastic guy. I think
yeah.
you should try to get all my co-hosts on because you're gonna have a great time with them.
Oh yeah
Amazing
yeah yeah.
people.
I just my month of February is full, so I won't be able
Yeah,
to
yeah,
bring
yeah.
anyone on.
And of
But
course, but
yeah,
absolutely
March.
should do that. I
Yeah,
promise
I
you
will.
commercial them. So
Yeah,
now they
I'm
got it.
gonna. Well, and here's for your password thing from Dash, um, support at
Yeah,
Rumble.
yeah, I'm
But
gonna do that. But
but
yeah, so you might find me with Kilted
mm,
on his stream, where
mm.
we're gonna talk about the new Spider-Man show because we're gonna
Ooh.
watch the new episode with the trans non-binary Harry Osborn, Black Norman Osborn, and Kurt Connors as
Mm.
a Indian female.
Ooh.
Uh, yeah, they changed everything. Only good thing I will give the show: Peter feels like Peter and Spider-Man feels like Spider-Man. That's it. So we're
The
gonna talk
question
about that.
the question is, will someone bang the Indian woman with the one arm? That's the real question people want
Yeah,
to
that's a question. And on Saturday, God damn it, bro. Uh, but on Saturday, on Friday, I will be with Comic Relief Crusader, and on Saturday, I will do the Skullcast where we talk about Royal
uh,
Rumble 2025.
mm,
Um, and again, if you are a content creator out there, or if you're creating a film, wherever you are out there, if you want to hire an editor, I'm always up for hire.
mm,
Again, I'm nice with the prices, and I'm a perfectionist, and my friends they know how perfectionist I am. They're like people that works with me, like Jacen, you need to take a break. You are too perfectionist. I'm like, no, I
mm.
work all the time. I need to
Yeah,
have it perfect.
yeah.
But I try my best to make the best things I can do.
Mm,
And prices, we can always talk about and find a good price.
yeah.
And a
So
lot more stuff is coming up on the channel. We
nice.
are gonna try to do some new shows that we will announce at some point.
Mm,
Hopefully, we'll be able to do it this year. We are gonna get Chuck Dixon and Mike Barron back on to talk about the comic stuff that they are
nice.
worked on. And we're going to talk about Chuck Dixon. One of his books just became a movie with Jason Statham and David
Oh.
Ayer and
Uh.
Sylvester Stallone writing the
Oh,
movie.
is that the
A
Working Man
Working
one?
Man.
Yeah.
Yes. The movie is based on Chuck Dixon, our good friend's book. So,
Wow, that's
yeah,
nice.
I'm really excited for it. And again, we also have a merch website, and also there is a surprise on the website. There might be an album there that I've been working on, just so people
Nice.
know.
Mm.
If you're interested to listen to my music,
Oh yeah, yeah.
eh,
You're it's on some of your music is on your YouTube too, right?
no,
Oh,
actually not.
ah,
I
that's
don't release it.
because I
That's a
saw
music
your.
video for a band. That's a
Oh,
music
okay.
video. Yes,
Apologies.
that's my good friend Memnock's band.
Nice.
I am creating a lot of music videos for them that will be released on my channel. And I got the green light
Nice.
to do it because I know them.
Nice.
And I'm like, I'm thinking, why don't you want it on your own channel? It's like, no, let's do it on yours. I'm like, wow, that's crazy. You want us to post it? But it's a win-win for both of us,
Yeah.
working together. Um, but yeah, before that, this has been really amazing to be here, getting to
Oh,
know
thank
you,
you.
getting to get the audience,
Hmm.
and I will absolutely try with the Rumble stuff. And fuck you, Sky Stöide, fuck you. Um,
Just one more thing, just like you shank him at the
yeah,
end right there.
yes. And other than that, as I always say before we wrap up a show, just remember life's too short, make the most of it. And we on this panel, we love you, we appreciate you. And
Mhm,
none of us could have been here today if it wasn't for all of you great people out there. You are inspiring us and giving us so much love and inspiration to continue doing this. And
mhm,
that's what means the world to us. It's
mhm,
you guys out there. And of course, women, of
mhm.
course.
Yeah,
Didn't forget you.
yeah,
But just thank you from the bottom of our hearts. It means the
yeah.
world.
See, now I could see you singing that like a song at the end right there. That whole tagline right there. And people are like, "Oh my
Yeah.
gosh, he's really good." But anyway, from for my end of things, of course, I'm not on the YouTube side because I couldn't set that up through the Rumble app. But where if you wouldn't mind leaving a like, sharing the content, or reposting, leaving a comment or follow, anything that helps with the engagement factor is much appreciated. Again, guys, I know right now I'm on a strictness of the tech side because my computer is out. But tomorrow I should hopefully get some news on whether or not it's fixable or not. I'm hoping it is. I mean, it's most likely probably a software issue, which if it is, hallelujah. If not, then well, that's another story for another time. But anyway, I'm hoping for a software issue, so I'll hopefully hear back about it tomorrow. But anyway, guys, thank you so much for being here. And again, any help with the engagement factor is much appreciated. Of course, I have a link down below. You can check it out and find out where else I'm at. And of course, if you'd like to take up the opportunity coming on yourself, guess what? There's a comment section down below, or you can go to the link down below as well and find my stuff and look me up. I've only had one person do it so far that looked me up for my links to come on the show, and that was Slinger Games. And he was a Canadian, and he's a Canadian. Okay, now how embarrassing is that? A Canadian looks up my links, and he's
Oh,
the one asking
oh
to get
God,
me.
you just reminded me. I also am with another person. Fuck, I can't forget him. Again,
Uh,
Sir talks a lot with
oh, that's right.
talks a lot. Yeah, talks about entertainment, and
Uh,
also I forgot to promote Vinyl Revival on Rumble, where we
ooh,
talk about music, everything from Beatles. We are listening to
mm,
music, everything from Beatles to black metal to
mm,
everything like that. And thank you, thank you so much. I appreciate that.
yeah,
And we just talk a lot about bunch about music and the story behind the music and just
mm,
having a great time.
yeah.
That
That those are the fun stuff with the trying to the story. But the next thing we do is tomorrow at 7 p.m. Eastern, I'll have Ironcaster on back again. Now, it's been a while since I've had him on. Of course, he's a very busy dude himself. So I was lucky to get him back on for tomorrow. So 7 p.m. Eastern for Ironcaster. So it'll be his second time on. So I hope you guys will stop by for
and when
that.
you talk with Ironcaster, remind him he has a hairy back and he needs to buy a crop top from my merch store.
I'll be
He will
careful about that.
understand. He
I'll
will
I'll
understand it.
I'll say, look, there's this dude. He calls himself the Jacen, and
Yeah,
he said you gotta need to buy his a
a crop top.
crop top from his shop because you're hairy.
Yes.
So there's
Yeah.
that. But yes, and of course, the last thing I do with my guests before I go is something called questions for my hat. Now I bought a hat from Rumble, right? I bought them off their store, and I also have a bunch of questions in it. Now, of course, yesterday I had a guest on called Omega, and we got up to 20 different questions with them. Don't know if that happened tonight, but what happens is that I pull out two questions, two freebies for my guests, right? And because I'm monetized on Rumble, people can give a rant if they want more questions pulled out of the hat. Obviously, on YouTube, I'm not monetized, so sorry, YouTube, I guess. But if you want more questions than the two that I do, you can give whatever amount in a rant, and we'll keep it climbing. So I'm just going to do with the first one, right? I'll put my hand in, not even looking. I'm just feeling around like I'm a blind man in the kitchen, trying to look for those chocolate chip cookies. Right, here's the first one. Got the first one right here. And this one says, are you a morning person or a
And I
night
got
owl?
and I got the password, so I'm logged in.
Yes, there you go. Look at him. Ah, look at him. He's right there. Look at it. I don't know if they have done that, but I will tell them about it. Oh, Opeth. Oh, okay. I don't know what that Opeth is. Um, but all right. So the question is, are you a morning person or a night owl?
Oh, I'm back now.
Yeah.
Hello? There we
Yeah.
go. No, for some reason, my browser crashed, so I popped in again.
Oh, if it was said application error, all you have to do is just refresh and you'll be fine.
Yeah, and I wanna say before, just with me on it, I actually found the password, so I'm logged in, so I
Nice.
fixed it, so I did
Just
answer, but
just make sure you make it so that you remember the password instead of
yes, I will remember it. But the question you had,
more. Are you a morning person or a night owl?
I'm a night owl.
I was wondering why you were hooting a lot. Hoo hoo.
Yeah. Exactly. I'm a black metal guy normally, you know?
Yeah.
We are up at night burning churches, so come
Yeah.
on, you know?
They keep me warm.
Yeah, it's
Uh,
cold outside now, you know?
yeah, Norway. Yeah, at this time of year. All
Yeah.
right. picked up two. All right, so here's question number two. Unless someone gives a rant, otherwise it's going to be. All right, here we go. Question number two is: what's the most ridiculous way you've ever injured yourself?
God. Uh oh oh yeah, yeah. When I was a kid, I used to do stunts because
Oh,
I always liked martial arts and stunts and loved
right, right.
adrenaline.
Mm,
So I was doing a basketball stunt and I was
mm,
gonna jump really high. So I had like a jumping thing that I jumped on to
yeah.
fly in the air.
Oh.
And I had some pads and all that. I think I maybe was in ninth or eighth grade.
Mm,
Um, and I thought I had the mats all set up right.
mm.
I didn't, so I broke my hand, and it's still fucked up to this day.
Oh,
It was
God.
stupid kid wanting to have fun.
Ah,
But I was flying really high too, and when I crash landed with my arm first,
mm.
yeah,
Oh,
I
yeah,
I
that's
broke it.
that's awful. Yeah, especially when you're young and like, "I could do anything," and you're like,
Yes,
"No!"
and I can still not move my hand properly to this day.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah,
yeah. Ouch is right, Dash. Ouch is right. Um, but anyway, guys, again, tomorrow at 7 p.m. Eastern with Ironcaster. Hope to see you all. That's so metal. Oh, goodness sake. That's so metal.
yeah.
That's so metal.
You
Yep.
know,
Yeah.
being a kid who doesn't think about consequences, that's metal.
Yeah, that's how it goes, but definitely paying for it even later on. So that's the part that sucks. But
Yeah,
anyway, guys, tomorrow at 7 p.m. Eastern. Again, thank you so much, Jacen. You are always welcome to come back.
thank you so
And
much.
yeah, I'll definitely try to reach out to your other kin on that matter. It'll just be more likely towards the to when I get towards the end of this
Yeah,
month.
of
I'll
course.
probably start reaching out because this month is full, so I don't want to I don't double book. There was one
Yeah, no,
time,
I totally get you.
well, just before we go, there's one time where I booked someone, and then I completely forgot on the day I booked him, and then I booked another person, and then later as I got close to when the date was coming, I saw like, oh, I booked two people on the same day at the same time.
Oh
So
my.
I went with the person who I did first, who booked it
Yeah.
first.
Who you
So
did first. Nicely
uh,
said.
now who I booked for? Come on now, I know phrasing, right?
Wait,
Oh
we
goodness.
are in 2025. It's okay, man.
Oh goodness. At least I didn't. At least I didn't call Denmark the little old dick suckers. That would have been a very.
Okay, okay, you got me on that one though.
When I go to Denmark, I say, "Oh, Denmark, the home of the old dick suckers." Oh, I'm
Oh
not gonna
god.
forget that one. But anyway,
Me
guys, thank
neither.
you. Oh goodness. But anyway, guys, thank you for being here. I appreciate it. Tomorrow, hopefully I will have my computer back before the next showing. I hope. I'll let you guys know. But until then, have a great night. See you tomorrow at 7 p.m. Eastern with Ironcaster. And of course, I can't play any media from the app, so it's just gonna be a wave goodbye. And I'll see you next time. Bye, guys. Oh, I'll have to do this. Bye, guys. There we